record height, and they're going to get the IRS to come and take money from small people. That just show you what the people think about you. And you'll go right back to the poll for all the ignorant so-called Negroes that sit around and think that the Democratic way is the way for them to go. These are the people that's killing you. All of them, don't get me wrong, all of them the same people. You know, the only people that really vote Democrat mostly is people really don't understand the economy. They don't understand economics. That's all you understand them telling you, they tell you the white people, the Republicans want to enslave, they want you locked up. Let me tell you something, all of them want to do it to you. You got to look at what's going to really set you up for security. Democrats want handouts. They like giving handouts. They give it to poor people. They don't give it to people that actually going to be able to use and benefit. They get the poor people they know ain't got enough sense to know what's going on in the world, but just enough to go get high, get drunk, buy some more FUBU for their kids, and what's all that other little stuff, fat pack, what is that little fat pack stuff they got? What's the one that love that? Fat, same thing. If you go to a farm, you ever been to a farm and they get you no pack or nothing? They gonna get the little fat pack clothes for the kids, and here's go with is Oshkosh still in? Oshkosh, again. Who's the Oshkosh Dadash? Kadash? Bagash? I won't put nothing on my kid that can't spell it. Oshkosh Dadash. I can't even put it. I don't know if my credit card coming to know what I paid for if I put it on now, so I better charge me none of it. That's how they get us, though. It's just terrible that our people are sitting in such a detriment that we in, and we haven't awakened ourselves yet to an understanding. But that's our goal, is to really try to make sure that we get an understanding about what we're doing. I can't stress enough just where we at. We at the end of this thing. We're not at the beginning. It won't be long, this thing will be closed down, and a lot of people ain't gonna make it in. A lot of people here ain't gonna be able to stay. I just being honest, it ain't gonna work. Just for the fact, as we get closer to an ending, then it gets to the crunch time where you start. It's kind of like when they do preseason. Everybody come out there playing, they come out excited, going. As time go on, they start looking at who they cutting. They put them out there. They have no them people. They look. It's no way I can come in with this roster. They don't even realize I do that. Just like India, they don't just know about that Boston. You know about that, don't it? Preseason, everybody there. Listen, they just watching. Little mistakes can be critical. Receiver running, he dropped that ball, and they just turn them. No, they looking at he on our list now. He on our list. He on our everything's so critical. They don't realize a lot of guys for preseason they antsy. Especially a rookie, they antsy, because they don't looking at, they know everything critical. You got to put your best on. You got to put your best on. It could be something in your attitude. You played good. It's just something about you we don't like. There's a lot of players, listen, their performance as far as them playing was great. It's just we don't vibe. We don't feel like you're a good fit for the team. They try to figure out what happened. When you get that call and they tell you to come out there and bring that playbook, I assure y'all not going to have no discussion. From there, you'll be needing to get you a flight to go home. They're not finna give you another playbook. You finna leave. Them guys sitting, I got called plenty of times just sitting and listen. When they got through, they sitting there, you know what they call say? Pray for me, Pastor. They sit in the room, listen, everybody's solid. Ain't nobody going out there room, they waiting. You know what they waiting on thing? They went on that call. Them folks hit you and that phone ring there and they tell you, come down here and bring your playbook. You finna go home. That's it, you gone. That's a hurting feeling for them. Guess what? You've been sitting here for however long you've been here, and now you getting ready to get that call to tell you, Tony, bring your playbook in. You finna go home. We gotta get this thing right. It winding up now. It get some guy that last game they trying to play. I can assure you that last game they already know who they cut. When you see them people on that field on the fourth quarter, listen, listen. Everybody know it. And you watch a preseason game, that they last game, and you on that field that fourth quarter. Let's say starting quarterback. They'll keep a couple of people they just kind of got it, so you just fake you, just make no mistake. You like, man, I got to get it in the fourth quarter. I can assure you, ain't nothing you finna do fourth quarter finna keep you here. You gone. And so listen, you gone. You watch, you say, that's tight. How long you been? I played in the fourth quarter. They put you in the fourth quarter. Yeah, you go ahead and look at you finna go. I know you still praying. It's over with. That's the same way with us. You play around long enough, you do all the praying you want to. Decision been made. And you know, for all of us, we've been going this way a long time for some of us, and hadn't been no growth, hadn't been no change, hadn't been no elevation. And then you're gonna say, you know what? I'm finna lock down. I'm finna get it. This fourth quarter. You about to be getting your call till you bring your playbook. You know, and that's what you've done. It ain't personal. It's just look at whether you're a fit for the team or you haven't been performing. That's where we at. That's even for me. It's tight for everybody. It's got to be that way. I like it like that. I know some of y'all probably don't. It's too much pressure. Let me tell you what it do. Pressure got a way of breaking, and pressure also got a way of making you make sure you're real careful about how you ought to walk. See, when you don't have no pressure, it ain't no reason to. It's no real reason to really just make sure that you crossing every T, quote unquote, they call it dotting every I. Because there's no pressure. I mean, what's going to happen? You feel like you're really secure. You're not secure. That's what we're trying to do now. Just like they were singing in the Zamar. I mean, that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to make sure we're secure. That's what we're here trying to do at the point. A lot of times, we just don't. We just don't. When things are okay and things relax, we tend to relax. So he bring that pressure on, so you got something to have to do. When you got the, I told y'all before, y'all remember where I told y'all to work from? From Sheol. At best, you work from your worst case scenario. Y'all didn't do it. So you didn't work from. You feel like, I don't have time to waste like that. You should. That's the easiest place for you to get into, Sheol. And that's right, so you got to work hard to get away from it. Because there's nothing, you do that with the Eve going to Sheol, nothing. So if you realize, this is my worst case scenario, and this is what I don't want, work from that point and come back out. I do things a little different than people sometimes. I work backwards. I need to know where everything's set. I can work from that point and know what I need to get away from. Some people work from the front, it ain't gonna work. I kind of do like Mr. It makes sense. He just worked from the back, and I just tell you from him. This is actually in, and from here we'll work our way all the way across. And I'll see if you'll catch it or not. You need to know your worst case scenario. You need to know where you at, so you need to know what you need to do. A lot of y'all hadn't done that. It's been the same thing, been time and years, been going and doing. So that's why I got to start cutting my roster, because game day getting ready to come up. And you know what I'm going for? I'm going for a championship. I think about 32. How many teams basketball? 32? In the NBA, what is it, 32, 33 teams? 30-something. You didn't believe what 33 teams want to do. No, they only want, everyone come in, we win the championship. How many football teams is it? 32. You ain't going to believe it. None of them say, well, we already know we ain't going to win. No. Everything they did, every play, people didn't know, and I had to learn. Do y'all know every play they do, tell me, every play they do is contingent on them making a touchdown. Every play. They said, listen, you got some play you trying to get, you need to get the first yard. You got to play, I need to get the first yard so we can stay in it. But pretty much every play they do is a touchdown. Can you imagine that? You're like, that's crazy. How you expect every play you do to be a touchdown, like every shot? Let's practice missing. Every shot. Every shot. They put a lot of pressure on somebody. Folks that think it's easy, that's a lot of pressure. Somebody counting you for about 25 points a game. That's a lot of pressure. Somebody finna just let you get 25 points? That's a lot of pressure. And you ain't produce it, it could be contract product, because some of your contract stuff could be contingent upon them points. So a lot of people don't realize, you don't see it. There's a lot of people working a lot of pressure. They just want to see it. You sign a contract and they sign up for contingent upon you doing, that's tight. That's a lot of pressure. You don't realize what's going through somebody's mind out there. You just looking things when they got them folks like, this is a lot of pressure. A lot of people counting me. I'm counting on me. I can't afford for these people to cut my contract. I need to give y'all some contract like that. That's what we need to do. We're going to make up some contract for everybody. Give y'all some contract. And your contract going to be contingent upon you doing what it says. I'm telling y'all now, all right, I'm just talking. Don't worry about it. I'm going to cut you. You don't get a contract. I just got a sound design. Everybody got a different contract. Your contract, that's going to be contingent on you being here. You can't make it, and then I'm going to call you to bring your playbook. You ain't going to be able to stay here. Everybody need that pressure. Me too. We all need it. We all need it. It'll make you serve better. You need to serve people. I don't like serving, having pressure on me. Let's do this right here. Let's go with that. No pressure. You ain't have no pressure. How close are you to Sheol right now? I mean, how close are you to reigning with Yahuwah right now? Because you don't have no pressure. It ain't something you constantly consider. You'll consider it a little bit. You don't consider it to where you make the changes. Anybody can think on something. Do you do it? Do you do changes to do that? Hello? No. No. The truth is you don't. Because you're comfortable. That's how it's been for you all your life, in a sense. But this is the most important thing you'll ever do in your life. Not owning a home, not buying a new car, not getting married, not seeing your kids graduate, not seeing your kids be successful. Whatever it is that people say, just common thing we look for. What is that going to do for you if you die? Well, when you die, you're going to Sheol. You're going to burn alarm. It'll never be put out. And that's something you need to think about. Now, there's an alternative, But what are you doing to make sure that alternative actually work for you? Y'all got it? Wow. There was stuff in school I didn't pay attention to. They had school, we get in trouble, and you got in too much trouble. First of all, you might get a write-up, get sent to the principal office. Some of it is a warrant. This is a warrant. I want you to sign. Somebody needs to go to the principal office. Principal might get you. They might put you in in-house suspension. If that don't work, they might say you need a few days out. All right, then sometime before they do expulsion, where you just out of that system altogether, we're going to send you to an alternative school. Giving you an opportunity before you make that last decision where you won't be coming back here at all. Nowhere, not just this school, you're not coming back in this county, in this system. Which is going to be hard for you when you go somewhere else, because they're going to know when they get their paperwork to look at. Expulsion. That's pretty serious. And then they're going to show a record. We tried to work with you, from disciplinary, from warnings, from conferences, from in-house suspension to expansion to suspension to alternative school. Really, why would I want to waste some time with you? I ain't got nowhere to go. I think you should have thought about that earlier. Like when they were talking to you and they wrote it up disciplinary, they were sending letters home, doing all these things, doing conferences. See, when you start talking about when you ain't got nowhere to go at that point, really, if you think about it, it might you have sympathy. Nobody else does. Because everything was done beforehand to try to prevent that. Just like them, before any of us go to Sheol, whoever it is. This man he's done everything he can. Every alternative had been met. At that point, when he comes back and he says, my pa, he say, you're going to Sheol. There's no argument. There's no defense. There's nothing. How many times have I warned you? How many times have I talked to you? How many times have I given you 50,000 chances? This is it. So this is the only chance we get. And for some of you that'll be leaving, it'll be the best thing for you. Because you'll have to live with it. You'll be like Asu. Who know what Asu did? I got one of my kids. Tell me what he do. He sold his birthright. What you say then? He sought repentance. You know what repentance is, Cam? When you become remorseful. When you become remorseful. You know how that man felt? The book that said he did something like it. The man sought repentance. The man was remorseful. The man was, whatever I could do, I'm so sorry. I'm repenting of this. And the book says he couldn't find it. So you had to ask yourself, what kind of warning did he get beforehand? So when we learned that Yahuwah worked from the back end, he already let him know, I already hate that man. And you know what the thing was, when his mama looked at him, she already knew he hated him. This wasn't something that came up later. You got a kid and you know, Yahuwah hate this kid. He hated him. So what you going to do as a parent? You ain't going to tell him? You ain't going to warn him? You ain't going to tell him? This man already got you marked. But you know how it is. That's what folks say, but you know, you still you. You're going to do your thing. And before you know it, your thing come back to hurt you. You think he didn't know about that till after? That sound like Yahuwah. I don't tell you the after. He that kind of Yahuwah. Don't tell you the after. So what you going to say? I ain't have a chance. I ain't even know. But if I told you beforehand, like he told Ali, when he came along, let him know him and his house, and he wasn't going to cover for him and his house no more. What did he say? I ain't have a chance. The man was against me the whole time. Is that what he said? What did he say? He said, I told him. See, we always the people thinking, and I know what you guys do. You guys all think this man is working, and he's just targeting you, and you ain't getting a fair chance. You, ma'am, you, sir, are liars. You are liars. You know it's a kazab. You are a flat liar. Ain't nobody gave you more chance than that man gave us. Right. Ain't nobody been more recompense than that man been. That man saying you, don't you get up no fight. You tell them people that's where you deserve to go. Because you went here. How many times he gave all of y'all? Sure, he gave how many times? At some point you realize, why the man go out here looking at this point, this is where we at. This is where we at. Everybody, I had somebody do with me, get on the knees in bed. That stuff don't move me. It just didn't move me. It didn't move me. At the end of the time, you know where you stand. You know where you at. You just like to toe the line. You keep going. And he let you know, toe the line. You can't cross no more. And he do it for a reason. People know where they at. Don't think nobody's stupid. People know where they at. Nobody got blindsided. When I do it to some of y'all here, you ain't going to be blindsided. You know it's coming. You better know it's coming. I'm going to tell you how it works. Y'all need to know about it. Y'all want to know? I'm real calculated. I'm very calculated. You just don't know it. I'm always calculating what I'm doing. You have to. Teach that business, you got to already be calculating. You got to already have your moves set. And I already said, I'm going to checkmate a couple of y'all. Some of them at home, some of them in this room right now. I'm going to checkmate you. It's that business at the end of the day. You waste too much of his time. I watch it and I see you go, I don't see no growth. So I do like you, I got to cut that odds down. It's got to be that way. At the end of the day, what else we going to do? What is it going to take to make the rest of us get in? At some point, we got to take it serious for ourselves. You'll be surprised if you have a talk with people to really see what's their real concern, what they really care about. This got to be it right here, above everything. If you can't transition, you can't change, he can't use you. Include, did I leave me out? Nobody get by. That's just about it. Nobody get by. At the end of the day, how you going to get by? Everybody got the same opportunity. That's just honor from the kids to the adults. Everybody got the same opportunity. Everybody got to try to see what they can slick, what they can try to get by, play like I don't know. You know more than what you play. Everybody know more than what they play. You can play stupid. You're not stupid, you know. It's just you felt like everybody else had been stupid. And the whole time what you've been doing, you've been playing Mr. Yahuwah as though he don't know. That you've been sliding by, you've been getting by. You hadn't. Your patience ran thin because he let mine run thin with you. When he targeted you now, he didn't target you. You engaged him. Everybody need to consider that. At the end of the day, I just want to be right. Nothing else matter than being right. Nothing more important than make sure we get that thing right. Everybody got to decide for themselves. Where you at? What you really want to do? Some of y'all are good. Y'all will tell y'all want. Nobody just show you the liars. Show you because how many of y'all okay with going to Sheol? See that? Nobody raised their hand. Because you are a liar. You have to be okay with it. You hadn't done what he told you. Where else could you be going? Think about it. Where else could you be? Where else? It's like a nigga robbing bank and he get caught giving him, I don't want to go to jail. I don't want to go to jail. You believe him? You believe he don't want to go to jail? He don't want to, but he crying. He's saying he don't want to go. I don't want to go to jail. I don't want to go. You say, man don't want to go to jail. Why is he going to jail? You tell me you don't want to go to Sheol. I don't believe it. What are you doing? You ain't just going because somebody talking. You going because what you done. Preacher can send you to, it doesn't make sense to send you to Sheol if you had done works that's equivalent to Sheol. That made absolutely no sense. Why would you want that? Be unjust. How did you done nothing wrong? I said, go to Sheol. How are they gonna come out and how they gonna be Sadat? It wouldn't be. That's what folks saying. He just send you. This is people that's covering up under covering that he's gonna uncover. It make no sense. I'm scared he's gonna send me to Sheol. What you doing? That's right. What are you doing? Don't get me wrong. Yeah, that should be a fear of going to Sheol for, but that fear should radiate in our behavior. Not just in our conversation, what we live in. What you'll change. What you'll stop. Same old thing. Same old thing. It's a good story, though. It's a very good story. It sounds good. It'll convince somebody. Except him. He won't believe everything. He knows you. He watching you. I just had to let y'all know that. Don't tell him I told y'all. He watching you. You need to know that. He watching you. Ain't nobody more calculated than he is. This man got an intent, and when he set his mind to do it, who can turn him? EU said he was in one mind. Who can turn him? It's tight. You can't stop him. When he unleashes, he go. You can't get that man, he won't relent. That man said he swore, I won't relent. I'll continue to do what he say. What he say he gonna do, he gonna do it. But then that becomes a consolation for some of us. Because for some of us, when he take you down and take you out, someone let us see he did what he said he was going to do. That's a warning to the next round. Isn't that right? He like, that's a warning for you. Another one, and he do it, make it close to home to you. That way you start to consider. He'll come into houses. He'll come into jobs. He'll come into hospitals. There's no place off limit. He'll come to it. Y'all don't folks, I bet he won't come. That's your mouth talking. He'll come for you. Don't y'all know he told you how many be in one bed? He said they'll be divided. He said, I'll make a man fold them of his own house. Folks still try to make it work, but the man done told you that. I don't know how you're going to do it. He said, I came to put a sword. Yeah. When he put a sword, he cut it asunder. He said, I don't see you putting it back together. Well, all we can do is just try to work and try. He said, I don't know what you're doing. I put a sword there for a reason. He said, that's what he told you that. And the folks still trying to figure, I'm trying to figure out how to keep my family together. Why? What's wrong with your family? It's like sometimes, it's like we divided. Why you think y'all divided? I don't know, the devil busy. Y'all ain't never heard no conversation like that? Because you know why? Nobody's conscious. I told you I came to put a sword in there. I came to divide that house. I'm trying to show you where the difference is at. We can't be divided. We need to be together. We need to keep holding on and staying together close as we can. Man, so I guess they're not listening. I put a divide. Go and look at why your separation is. You know what your separation is? It's the word. Somebody believe, where the separation gonna come at? But you know what we'll try to do? I'm trying to fix it and make it better. I put a divide there for a reason so you can see it. You got to stop compromising to it. I got them at home, sitting here and do the same thing. Y'all gonna try to compromise, y'all gonna try to cover, you're gonna try to ration, and you're gonna try to reason. You can't ration and reason what he done already done showed you. Y'all really try to, I done showed you. You know it's bad when we know in ourselves already, but we still try to see maybe it's another way. Maybe you want me to see something else. No, I want you to see exactly what you saw. I put a divide in there for a reason. Because I need you to show you that their word gonna show everybody up. This is the only way. You can lie and pretend, but so long, that word gonna show you up. It's gonna find you. It show the intent of the heart. That word will show the intent of everybody's heart. Whether you will or not, what you love, the word will show it to you. What you'll resist, what you'll give up, and what you'll break away from. And what you'll cry, you'll snivel on it. Even though it's wrong, you'll still try to find some right in it. Yes, you know what your favorite song is? If loving you is wrong, you know what they're saying? I never sang that. I know you won't. You do a good job living it. The man said he hated it. What you gonna do? He didn't believe what Yahusha said. He said, I hate anything that Yahusha hate. Anything Yahusha hate, I hate it too. Know what he did? He told him, he said, now I hate them that hate you. What do you think he did to find out his son hated him? Except he let it, I hate you too. You hate Yahuwah, I hate you too. Oh, that type. Now you know what come in that day? This is when you start rationing how he mean it. Because hate got, watch it. What hate got about 15, 20 different meanings? So we have to look at which to hate. It's a hate-love too. You heard a love-hate relationship? That's what I got, a love-hate relationship. Because you got to rationalize, you just got to rationalize in some kind of way. It's hard for him to get people to really come to grips with, this is this man's word. Why am I trying to fix something that you go against his word? I have people, y'all make too many compromises. It's just certain things. Things hurt you, and it's for a reason why. Because it really shows you where you, everybody in him, who in him will give up Yahuwah for something in the world? See? Liars. We're all liars. Because you have to be tested on things. And he'll show you, you will actually set him out for a whole lot less than what you're thinking. That's what he'll show us. It's small things about, y'all want the truth, y'all want lies? Truth is. It's little things that we'll get. You'd be surprised that the stuff can come in our life and we'll see it, but some kind of way, that ain't exactly the same thing. That ain't, it really ain't. It's really not the same thing. This is a little different. And you will come up with, I'm whatever, I mean, I won't be right now. I don't want to sound like I'm making no excuses, but the whole time you talking, that's an excuse. He has to unveil us like that. Don't y'all know, nobody will come up and tell the truth and say, I'll let him go for anything. Nobody finna do no stupid stuff. That looks stupid. People gonna look at you and say, oh, and them people say, oh, they do the same thing. You compromise for anything. You'll turn aside for him on anything, and you'll rationalize everything. The only thing that all of us do is what's comfortable for us. I didn't crawl inside that building. I walked in it. Didn't hurt me. I do what's comfortable. In order for it to become comfortable, you have to do it enough. To be able to get till you can get into a behavior to where I adjust to it. So some things you adjust to, you're only adjusting to it because nothing more traumatizing to come in to challenge you on what you believe. And so what he had to do, he had to bring some trauma in our life, and those traumas we have to work through them. Yeah, you got to work through them. You have to work through them, and that's what a test comes to show whether or not you'll stand, show whether or not you'll veer or you'll turn. People do it all the time. People in here, at home, sitting in here too, they do it. I watch them. They can pick y'all on what y'all do and what you do, and they do it all the time. Because they're busy watching other people. They done sold out too many times. Man, this is common. This is a common problem we deal with. Everybody serve their man on convenience. Everybody. Include me. We serve them on convenience. So he had to put the press on us. That's what you got to do. You know, let me tell you something. You got a guy. This guy played basketball. College there. You played semi-pro now? Yes, sir. Let me tell you something. Get the ball, come down the court. Every time. Anybody know why? They ain't pressing him. Sometimes what you'll do, when you want to stop a man in critical, press him. As soon as he touches the ball, press him. Don't let him, no, press it, put the press on him. Make it hard for him to get down. And you'll find out what he got. You'll jam him right. Can he get out between the two men? When you lock him down, what he can do right there? He can't put the ball down. Make him get rid of the ball. Get the ball out of his hand. Don't let him move. Take the ball from him. Press him. You need that pressure on you. See, just one person who did it, Jordan learned how to play with two men checking him. And that's how you got to start learning how to play. When the press come on, you still got to get, listen, the obligation hadn't changed. Nobody even pressing you, and you still ain't even, you ain't even trying. And I told y'all at least over 50% of my brother, they not even trying. It's just not in you to push like that. But I'm going to push you. You'll appreciate me later. As a man, we have to. See, the problem why our women leading us, because they see the men ain't going to do it. They just, man, they don't see the men to do it. You're a man, there's so much stuff you got to work through. And I know you might feel it's unfair. I don't know how. He made you first. He gave you all the orders, gave you all the cream. And the only reason why it's still hard for you at dawn, because you keep giving in to stuff. I got them in here too. Wife run them and stuff like that. I seen something got here. I see the several y'all do that stuff. I just watch out. Man, I wish my wife would jump out of place. She'll have to go find her a place. She ain't done that. I'm real stuff nerve wracked me on that stuff. I've always been mad. I was hearing ready to run that thing. I hearing ready to rumble the house. Make it shake when you come. They say if they put down the creed, I need to rumble. No, hell no, my wife come tell me what to do. We not having no foolishness like that. I just don't believe in it. I'm old school. But I know y'all got that new stuff. Y'all been watching that movie, what? Waiting to Exhale? That is golden. It's another, what they got another woman movie that had them beat these niggas with. What's one of them other sap movies they got? One mad black woman, Diary of a Black Man. I won't read it. She can write whatever she want in that book. I ain't reading that junk. I don't have time for that stuff. That's her diary. You read it. Yeah, it's just, I ain't with me. It's just certain stuff from the old school. A man has the lead. That's your bottom line. I can't have my wife leave. It's impossible. I can't have no foolishness like that. That's a problem. It is, especially when the man, when he came back and they let them joke on day, told the woman, trying to figure out what I told you. How you get yourself in that mess that you don't let? Man, we not have no issue. What I'm talking about, yeah, my wife messed me up. No, we don't have no issue. That's right. She not tell you, keep your mouth closed. I don't play no foolishness like that. I'm old school. You can go call whatever abuse center you want to. Keep your mouth closed. I don't play no foolishness like that. Why you leave me out there? Go. I'll burn the house down and pay the bill back myself. And you won't be in it. I'll build back a 1-bedroom with a bucket in it. I'll mess and piss and dump it myself. That's some crazy stuff y'all be doing. But I don't know, I get what happened though, man. I don't know, you S-O-F-T. Yeah, go there. And why I'm looking like that, boss? I don't like no man calling me soft. Yeah. And I don't no, it's not about abusing a woman. It's about you carry yourself in a way where a woman will follow. You carry yourself in a way where they realize. And you got to get her to have that confidence in you. That's like Yahuwah. Anybody that just run off and follow Yahuwah is an idiot off the rip. I'm going to tell you why you're an idiot. First of all, you know absolutely nothing about him nor his ability. I'm not following you. It makes absolutely no sense. Y'all got it. Plus, if I'm going to follow you, you need to be going somewhere I'm going. Somebody just, and on the street, I'm on the spreadway, they hit it, bump, bump, or something. Well, follow me. I don't know who you talking to. I don't even know you. I know they're thinking, he teaching against you. No, I'm teaching against your stupidity. This is why you quit, because you don't know why you following. You need to have, if I'm following, that's what I tell some folks, follow me. Come on, borrow for something. You me now. You tell me to follow. Tell me to follow you.
Follow me.
All right, come on. These niggas here do that stuff. I'll be so pissed with y'all. We went Murphy. Ooh, y'all niggas drove my head so hurt. I said, these niggas don't know what. Follow me. They'll shoot around. You somebody look, I'm saying to myself, why would you be on the side of me? You don't know what I'm finna do. If I just told you to follow, I already know what he's finna do. This, and you know what? This is what you're doing with Yahuwah, and he turned on your behind. You know what I'm saying? And he hollered, Yahuwah done left me. I shoot you, he didn't. You left him. You went your own way. Simple little stuff to get y'all to do. Follow. Follow. That's it. Who's told them follow? I'll make you fishermen. They'd grab them there, start netting them people out there. Hey, man, what y'all doing? You said we're going to catch me. That's why I told you to follow me. I'm going to teach you how to do this. I'm going to show you. I'm going to instruct you. I'm going to guide you on how to do this. Y'all just, just take out, do y'all own thing. Y'all dangerous people. Y'all don't like hearing about yourself. Y'all listen. I'm tired for, I need whip and go over and walk that ugly fat time. Y'all terrible people. Terrible. Some of y'all just terrible with direction. But we're going to fix that. That's the goal. Fix it. And you fix it by, you have to get your mindset on with the most important thing is for everybody here first is for you individually. It's for you first. What about my kids? I've been on with you. You can't help your kids, you get yourself situated. Let's get you fixed, then we're going to fix the kids. A lot of stuff you're trying to fix not going to help. Somebody sitting in ICU finna get up and go check on somebody. They don't let them, you know what they don't do? If you had a wreck, you and your wife, husband, however, boom, both of y'all are ICU, they're not finna go take it. I need to go sit up. They're going to tell you, we need to get you straight. Nobody's going to roll you out of ICU. They're going to listen. Right now, get what they're going to tell you they're concentrating on. You can keep asking. They're not going to tell you whether they did it right now because this can hurt your state of getting better. You know what these niggas do? Unplug everything they got, walk out ICU, go check, and they wonder why they did. How you going to help them you ain't got yourself together? How many of y'all familiar with what I told y'all with hospital and doing what I'm saying doing? Who they going to focus on? They're going to run out there and leave you and then go run check on the other person. No, we're dealing with you right now. Let's get you straight. Then we can focus on somebody else. And a lot of times y'all been trying to help somebody else. You're not securing where you need to be at yet. You're not even where you need to be. You doubtful, you resentful, you question everything he do. You cover, you liar. Time to fix stuff. Want to be better. We're not worried about it. Listen, what everybody else is doing out there is really not our issue right now. Our issue is fixing us. Y'all got it? Yes, sir. I have some people, they send me some money. I call, have them send a text, want to find out what they were doing. Yeah, doing the same thing. Send it back. Don't send me your money. Get your life right. One thing I don't do, I don't take money. You ain't doing what you need to do. Keep your money. Your money not going to save you. Yeah. Your money paired. Nobody going to buy their way here with us. Nobody. But you'll give me the ability, the grind and hustle, do what I got to do. I never lay a hand in mouth to y'all. Nobody. Well, I got to compromise nothing and take no money from nobody. You ain't doing what you need to do. I'd rather you keep your money. You take your money, you burn with your money. People need to, because a lot of people feel like they're going to buy their way in. You can't buy your way in. Well, at least I'm going to pay my tithe. Your tithe ain't no good if you ain't obeying. Nothing you're doing is no good unless you're obeying. People just feel like, well, at least I always been like that. I always just want to pay my tithe. Your tithe is not going to help you. Not at all. The whole benefit with Yahuwah comes in with complying with everything he gives you. That's why people not doing better today, because people keep compromising with them, and people keep going, and people keep doing stuff. People keep supporting stuff. They're just wrong. You can't support stuff wrong. Whether it's your kids, whether it's my kids, whether whoever it is, it's just stuff everybody just give in to do. You got to stop it. We are the major hurts of these people. You have to come on. I can't help you. I can't help you. I ain't coming. I ain't doing it. But my members, they do a whole lot of stuff for him. That's a whole lot of stuff y'all do y'all too comfortable with. You shouldn't be comfortable with it. You shouldn't be comfortable. Y'all would be surprised some of the dumb stuff I get asked to him. My members is probably second from the bottom from the dumbest people in the planet. Some of the stuff that y'all will come up, that you will rationalize in your mind to think, to ask me or text me, is some of the stuff you couldn't even possibly have a brain in your head. But it showed me y'all too comfortable. You're too comfortable. So we got to make change, got to make adjustments. It'll be for the better. Make no mistake, we're going to go. Mr. Yahuwah is going to allow me to drop those screens, right? He's going to allow me to go to work. That's my confidence in him. We'll go to work. I take you on a trip. It'll all make sense when I get finished. But I just have to be honest with y'all on where you been, where we at. Ain't nothing getting no better. Y'all have no idea. This thing is rolling up. They're finna get the IRS guns to come to seize you, to get you, to capture you, and lock you up. You're going to have more problems. You know who this is going to affect more than anybody? Poor, black, struggling businesses, individuals. You know who they're coming after? Uber drivers. Dave, did you know that? People that do Grubhub, Uber Eats, they're coming after them. These agents are coming after them. These people are going to pay. Who are these people? Who are these? Let's think about it. These are millionaires, right? Struggling. Working, getting it, made tilt, making that little money, trying to get ahead. No. We're coming for them. We're coming for them. It's going to affect all of us. That's how these people work. They look like they let you get a hand. You said, well, you know what? I could do this. I can go. They finna force all these folk back into the slavery. And they're going to get you in a system, they're kicking you out. One time these jobs hiring, it's on still hiring, they getting rid of these people. It's no need. It's no need. And people of color, they use their brain. Like they ain't got a dime left. They done burnt every dime gone, and then they still going to come in, they're going to punish you for it like you're a millionaire. That's how rotten the system is toward us. That's why we got to try to look. If it's ever been a time that we need to be together or need to be together, it's for our salvation. That's it. These folks done failed us on every end. That's what they do. Constantly look at a reason to keep you down. But that's good because you know what? In other words, you'll do what you've been doing. You'll trust in this system. You'll trust in this system. They fail you for a reason. Mr. Yahuwah had them to fail you. Mr. Yahuwah put this out here for you because he got intent. He got something he's going to punish, and someone he's going to drive us straight back to him. He got to cut off every avenue. I tell y'all before, a lot of y'all, as long as you keep having these escape routes, you ain't going to do no better. You stay the same person because you still got alternatives. You got other obligations. You got other things you're doing. You got the secret things about yourself. Until you unveil those things, you get yourself right, you ain't going to do no better. None of us. Till you can be clear. You got to be transparent for him. It ain't for, you got to tell everybody everything they know. No. You got to be clear for yourself and with him. Where you at? What you willing to do? What you'll walk away from? What you'll quit? What you'll stop? Huh? Nothing else matter more than them. That's being honest. That's what we got to get to. I'm just saying it now. You got to believe it. Yeah. Anybody can say it. Can't y'all repeat after me? Nothing else matters. He's more important than anything in the world. How hard that was? Wait till the storm comes. That's what he waiting on. Yeah, how many folks ain't open their mouth? That's what he told me. He said they lied with me with their mouth. He said they lied with me with their tongue. They feel like they lied. They were talking how we were going to turn. He repent. He said he lied to me. Oh, how many of y'all like being lied to? Wow. You ain't going to believe it. He don't either. That's why we're trying to fix this thing, trying to get it right with him while we got opportunity. While we got opportunity, while we still in the way, we're just trying to fix the thing before it's too late. We know what's going on. Everything. Ain't nothing getting no better. This whole Trump thing just more of a mess. And these white folk, listen, these folk arming themselves. They getting ready. They're going to fight against the government. And y'all know who they're going to fight. When they say they're going to fight against the government, when white people going to get ready to fight against the government, you know who that include? Niggas. Who else put the man in office but niggas? Who kept Donald Trump from being elected? Niggas. These white folk actually put it on us. 12% of the entire population, and over half of that locked up, drugged out, don't even know how to register. And don't forget how many we got. Do your numbers. If you broke us down to 12%, you got to do our incarceration rate. You got to do how many of those are minors. Two people, basically y'all two, you and your wife, two people. How many kids y'all got? We got to count that. They got 6. 2 of those got 6 kids. They can vote. So they the one reason why Trump didn't get elected. Because they didn't, how old is your youngest baby? Nothing but an excuse. 2-year-old. Knew she could have went to that poll and voted. And that's the excuse. See, black people lazy. They make excuses. The numbers they give you, man, and then you recite that because you're an idiot. Do you know we also have more women than men? Our women outnumber our men. You do the demographic, everything they get, it makes absolutely no sense that you have any effect in any election. You're too small of a population. Don't forget, we the lowest percentage in prisons. You said a higher percent? So how they vote, Dave? So your 12 getting messed up again. If most of those are minors, and then most of them are females, and most of them are incarcerated. It's nowhere in the world that 12% of the total population, when you probably got another 3% easily that's made incarcerated. How do you come up with we are the people that put the man in office? Do you know how dumb you have to be to have these conversations with these people? This is white folk stuff. It's all white people. They need someone else to blame. It just sounds good. Like Chris said, all they need is 1,500 people, and they can come up and tell you what 380-some million people thinking. Does that make sense? That 1,500 people, if you talk to 1,500 people, you have a majority of the thinking of 380 million people. Does that make sense to your number? 1,500 people. So if you pick 1,500 citizens, that means 385 million people gay. At least 65% of them. That makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. Whew. When you poll, education gonna make a difference, economics gonna make a difference, race gonna make a difference. Y'all know that demographics gonna make a difference. It's too many things make a difference. That when you're doing polling, it's too hard. You could never get enough of people. You got to do over half. You got to do, really to be honest, you would have to poll everybody in America to come up with a real fair assessment of what percentage is what. You can't use any group of people. All of y'all don't even think alike. Everybody here don't have the same views about Yahuwah. Everybody got different views because it's what you take in that you like and you'll adjust to. Then the rest you don't because you ain't there yet. See, that's the difference with what he's trying to get us to do versus what we've been doing. Y'all got it? Okay. All right, let's see. We'll try to move forward. We'll see what my boss do. That's all in his hand. He don't give us nothing, we don't get nothing. How many of y'all are money in him? Well, he said if that's true, he said if you're money in him, he said he won't put you to shame. I'm money in him too. All right, let's see what he got for us. Come on, Mike, for 1 second. Come on for a second. Come for a second. I see what does say, Mr. Yahuwah. Remorse, that's fine. That's remorseful. Remorse. Deep regret or guilt for a wrong. And that's what the book said Asu was doing. When he repented, he had remorse, which means he had a deep regret for selling out, for giving up his nefesh for his birth, where he gave up his birthright, just so he could obtain. And that's the same thing, you know. How many of y'all feel like that was a dumb decision? I do. But that was a dumb decision to do it. But then I had to also say that when we look at what we did or what we're doing now. What do you think you're giving up when we are the Benim of Yahuwah? We're the Benim of Yahuwah. You know how you become the Benim of Yahuwah? So what? Say it louder. Obeying? Birthright. Birthright. That's why he was telling us about being born again. It still had to coincide. The reason why I had to tell you that, there's a couple of ways you could become a child, okay? One is through adoption. Now, what you can't do is just go and say, I adopt you. There's a course of action that has to take place. Y'all got it? There's a course of action, and we got to have some legal binding paperwork. So if something come up, I can show proof of me having possession of her and her being actually now as a child to me and me being as a parent to her. That's why we got the book. So for those of us that weren't actually begotten of him, now what you inherit from him is a birthright. Asu gave up his birthright. He gave up his birthright. He relinquished everything. Whatever goes with me being connected. See, it's a little deeper than what we thought of him. He was starving, he was hungry. He felt like he was at the point of death. He looked, hey man, listen, his brother said, listen, I'll give you something to eat, but you're going to give me that spot. He said, birthright? He said, man, I don't care. He said, what good is a birthright when I'm getting ready to die? He gave it up. And you heard look that. That's why I hate you. I hate you, that you'll give up a connection to me. You'll give up. You were going to be an inheritor to everything I had. That's why it was so mandated for Yahuwah when he told it, but thus it was, what was it again? Written thus, what was it? But who, to do what? That's why he looked at, he was holding on to a birthright. When he saw how the man did with Asu and wouldn't let him get back, how bad he hated him for doing it, he looked, there's no way I could do it. He looked, there's no way I could do it. I couldn't do it. There was no way he could do it. He had it. But you know what you do? Like, let me see. You come in, find out through the letters that you become the Benim or Elohim, and then you go ahead and you kazab, tell a lie. You just sold your birthright. You commit adultery, you commit fornication. You just sold your birthright. See, you know, they were looking for somebody to come hand them some food. See, don't forget, what did he always tell us what would be the issue? Table, well, down. What he said, the belly, he's good. What did you say? That's right. Daoud told him that would be a snare. The table. That's what got, he looked at what got, that's what got Asu his table. He said, let that table be a snare. And it's going to be a trap. He said, let it be a trap to him. And Shaul told us that our Elohim was our belly. He said, what you thought was your kabul, that's actually your shame. Y'all see that? See, that's the same thing that happened to Adam and Ka'ua. If they were made in the image of Elohim, what did they have? Who? Birthright. What does they have? Wow. Kabul. If if I make you in my image, I got kabul, what would that automatically give you? You will actually have kabul. But since you went to eat of the ox when I already given it to you, so you could obtain your own kabul, now it became your shame. That's why they hid themselves. He told you, your kabul is your shame. What she said? She said, I could be like him. I be wise, I know everything. Man, that'd be kaboom for me. He said, no, that's going to be your shame. That's why you got to be careful when you make moves. Some moves you make can hurt you. All right, let's see. This is the book of Romans 14, 15, verse 4. Y'all know why we use it? Why we use it? That's our foundation. All right, we got to know where we're going. And the only way to know where we're going is know what we establish first. Let's establish supremacy first, right? And even in math, they're going to, certain things are going to be basic. And if they teach you any math, they're going to teach you basic math. Nobody going to teach you about no trigonometry, no geometry. Let's deal with basic math. So if we had to go back to correct some things, some of the things that correct you back, let's go back to the basics to see how we got to this point. It's certain things you need to know from a basic standpoint to get to where you're going. So we need to establish a base for what we're doing before we take off to go anywhere. That's right. That's what and this all has to come together and have a solidarity to it. Y'all got it? And a lot of times people don't. Let's just go with the spirit. You can go, I can't be running with everything. I got to have a base. I got to know where we starting from first. That makes sense. Even military, you go, listen, military ain't going to just go nowhere and they're going to start fighting. You know the first thing they're going to do before they start? They're going to establish a base. Somewhere, am I making this up? You know, it don't make sense. I need a base. I need somewhere where people know where to retreat. I need to know where I can drop goods at, and we can go back and we can keep replenishing people. I need a base. So with the base I establish, I can keep replenishing. Hello?
Yes, sir.
That's what they've been doing. They just been out there fighting. They ain't got no base. They just been, don't make no sense. You have a base. You know, even boxing, they give you a corner.
Yeah.
Right now, you know, they tell you about, go to your corner. I ain't even got one. You know, yo, go back to your corner. Ain't that right? You go back there, what they do? They going to work on you. If you're getting cut, getting swollen, give you some water, give you a little bit, massage you up, go back, get some more from where to go. Then wait, now get back out there. You need a base. Why you think they just let them in the room and just start fighting? You got to have a base. See, everything we've been doing sound good. It don't make no sense. It don't make sense. It makes sense to have a base. Are y'all understanding this? I know I tell y'all this all the time. I don't want y'all to think I'm just doing something, do something. I don't have to do it, but I need y'all guys to understand why I do certain things. I need you to be able to understand it for yourself. You need to have your fundamentals. You need to have a foundation before you do anything. A lot of people try to take off and try to run off this something, and they don't even have a foundation. Now you here, but you don't know how you got there. I didn't know how I got there. Y'all got it? All right, listen.
For whatever Nikata before.
Except what?
Whatever Nikata before.
Except what? So what? That's what I need to know. Because you know how you read, you pick, you know how you do, look for your favorite scripture. I would like that. Anybody like that? Got their favorite? You look for something that touch your heart or something that speak to you? Come on. But what about everything we're written that speak to you? And because people taught us sometimes you going through, you know, just get your favorite scripture passage and just, I don't know where you get it. Yahusha went over all of it. He said, all of it speak to me. When he taught to them, he gave them his favorite passage. He said, all of it. They said, what's your favorite passage? He said, well, really, you had to begin at Mushah and the Nabaim and the Ketuvim, because all of it concerning me.
Right.
So if it's all concerning him, he came and he died to you, how much do you know about him? How much do you know about yourself? Other than they taught us, he came, he died, he wrote. Come on, how you know I ain't even finished? They ain't been let me, he might have been reading my mind. Regular Christian antics. I might talk to Jahid when I asked him a question about why he loved him. He said, well, he said something was basic. I said, no. I said, no. Tell me why you love him. Just tell me. It was just had a conversation about something. Because sometimes people say things, but they don't really get into the deep essence of why. Because of what he did for me. So that's the end of our conversation. What's my next question? You should have told me the first time I asked you why you love him. Because some people had to really start thinking about it. A lot of times, if you think about it, and I just use Jahid on that conversation. In no way, I know I'm in no way saying Jahid didn't. But a lot of time with us, we never really sat down to question, why do I hobby? Because then you start thinking, some things that we deal with and we go through, it ain't like, okay, I love him because one time I got shot and I was in a coma for 3 months. See, that's some drastic extent. How about the fact I didn't get shot? You know, because I hadn't been in a coma. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I'm just saying that to say, sometimes we feel like we can't live until the whole building fell on me, Dave, and I was the only one walked out, everybody died. That's why I love him. And I understand that issue, but you tell me that's all he did? You know what I'm saying? Do you really think about why you committed to him? Because, you know, I really think about why I don't walk away, why I don't quit. I'm assured and I'm confident in why I'm here. I want to know. I don't want to just be reciting no words because, you know, because the Nabaean them did it. Because really and truly, that is their situation. I'm talking about me. What's got me holding on? What got me here? I appreciate what they did. It's inspiring. It's encouraging. But what really sold me is what he did for me. That's what sold me, what he did for me. I appreciate that. I just be honest. I got some hurts I'm going through. Some of that, what I read there, it's not the same situation. It's really not the same situation. You have to really have your own relationship with them, your own events that happen, and you have to be able to recognize that for yourself. That's some things you don't recognize because you don't think about it because it ain't drastic. You know what I'm saying? And you have to really come into understanding him and knowing him and looking at the things he's done to others and realize that should have been me. There's some people he cut off I recognize more with than some of the people he delivered. Those people get me even more. Some of us, you know, can recognize with certain things. It's some people that he cut off, like Asu. That's why I harbor him. That could have been me. I sold out. Come on, man. Let's just be honest. We're going to sit around and tell lies. We contemplate. We consider. We linger. We do things. We human. It happens. You just realize, what if he'd have let me went with that mind? What if he just let me just lean? You know, it don't take that little lean, you'll fall. Isn't that right? And it just, that's why I love him. Because it's just too many things I look at. It's just too many times I was caught dead to right. You know what I'm saying? And look at him. Man, let me catch a flight. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? But everything y'all say a lot of time for people, I think it's so generic. And you kind of just look at, well, I ain't got a car crash, and building ain't fell on me, and I ain't been shot multiple times, and all. It's other situations we all can consider. You could have been a molested baby. Huh? Or you could have been born and you could have been half crazy. That's a lot of things you could let happen. That's a lot of things. You see a lot of little kids and you can see in that situation, you look, why that wasn't you? I seen parents pushing kids in a little bit of wheelchair, and that's their life. And they just started. Why that wasn't me? Why that wasn't my kid? Why I didn't get that wheelchair, Boston? And I ain't got one of them things on the back of my car where we get to go, you put on the back of your car, then you get your kid out and pull him in now. That's why I love him. Go figure. Some of that moved me more to harbor him than what EU. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. That's beautiful what happened to EU. You won't get no fight out of me with it. It's the other things I've seen him do to people, and I realize I more or less relate to those people who you cut off. I know that with me. That's why I love him. I can relate more with those people because I've been in that situation. I've been that person. I can relate. I can relate with EU. I was perfect. I was better than anybody else on the planet. I was the richest man in all the planet. I can relate. You can relate to that, can't you? How many I can relate to EU? And so where do you folks get these stories where they like EU? Nigga ain't had $100 at one time. How you but I'm just saying, folks got, you know what, I'm like EU. Like how? You lost everything you had. You've been the richest. You understand this man was the perfect man? Tall mean. I don't have nothing in common with that man on that issue. Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. I got stuff in common with people like Ahaz. He fell through a lattice, and he sought after somebody else instead of Yahuwah. And Yahuwah assured him he would never get back up off that bed. And I look at how many times I looked and lurked at the other thing, and he let me get back up. That's why I love him. I said, I can relate to that, Dave. Being in a situation, and what else you gonna do? I gotta look to somewhere. Right now, when you need help, you look for however you can get it and deal with whatever you gotta deal with after. I can relate more to them than I can to EU. I appreciate EU. I appreciate the story of him being persecuted, because I've been persecuted. But unlike him, mine was for what I'd done. He got persecuted, and the book declared it, for no cause at all. I can't use that story. How many of y'all have been persecuted for no reason? How many of y'all felt like you could relate to EU before we had the conversation? But then you think about it. What was your correlation? Man, when people coming at me and people talking about me, what did you do, nigga? See what I'm saying? But see, when I want to commute, I want to be like EU. Everybody against me, nobody trying to encourage me, trying to hold on and hold on. What you did, nigga? Yahuwah told her clearly about that man. He said, you caused me to move against this man, and he did nothing. How many of y'all can understand now, EU, his situation? I ain't saying you like him. You can understand his situation. I wouldn't trap him. Then you should have understood that was Yahusha. That was the purpose of why he sent him here. It was none like him. The man lost everything he had. And they persecuted him for no reason at all. He told you it was written in your tongue. It was written in your Torah. They hated me without a cause. And we knew that Yahuwah was against him, and everybody was looking at Yahuwah against him. Everybody had knowledge of EU. They should have knew it was him. Everybody had knowledge of EU, should have knew it was him. Because typically we look at when Yahuwah set himself against you, you done something. You done something. And he let her know. He said, you called me to move against that man, and he ain't did nothing at all. That's why Pelosi had to tell you, I can't find no fault in him. See that? You were too busy trying to see where you fit in it. You had absolutely no connection with this man. Absolutely not. Everybody persecutes you, it's because of that junk you done started, them lies you done told, that hypocrisy you done done. That include me too. Ain't nobody been at you for nothing. But you been like EU. They went and put job on their shirt. You know what I'm saying? I'm like job. Folks looking at these folks like, you like work. Nigga, you sick. Folk know what this is. No, he don't, nigga. Nigga put he like to work on his shirt. I'm like work. Man, stop it. Just stop it. Man, he made a fool. That's how dumb. That's J-O-B. It's always been job. How is it in English it's Job, and then they hiring, they're trying to say who need a job. They don't, who need a Job? Who need persecution? That's just see, they can play with you. They can play with you at any time they want to. They just change the game. They can change it whenever they want to. All right, let me get going. I'm just talking, just killing time with you. All right, so we know that for what things soever were written, katab for our lamed. See how we just learned that right quick going through EU? Now, when you hear somebody tell you they like Job, what you gonna do? What you doing? You know what you do the next time somebody tell you they like Job? Tell them they can get to work. That's what a job is. Tell them to get to work.
That's right.
Y'all got it? Because they said, tell them. All right. Tell them. Then get to work. Ain't that right? I'm like, Joe. Yeah, nigga, get to work. Got time to listen to that fools you talking about. Listen.
That we through endurance
That's right, going through something without giving away. Now you can go back and you can look at Job. Ehud, persecuted. If you want to look at somebody who did go through something and didn't give away. Hello? You think that he knew when he was going through that he was Talmud? You think when he was going through that he knew that it was nobody else like him? That he had just been considered and that was just a test? You know what Ehud did? He did what everyone else supposed to do. He started examining himself.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
He did just like Archer did on Malcolm, on the movie Malcolm X. When he found out about that number was wrong, he said, come on, man. He said, you know I had that number. He said, Sophia, he said, hold on, man, that's your lady. What you think she gonna say? He said, man, forget it then. It's a good day to you. And boy, while he let him know, he said, what you doing, Red? He said, he gonna go and check his rip. He said, what, how long he been doing it? He said, he never missed a number. Mm-hmm. He said, he gonna go and check his ripping. And if you wrong, you dead, dead, dead. And you start checking himself. He started trying to see how wretched, he started examining. Why would this man put himself against me? He started recognizing how reduced he was, how he was just dirt being taken. All these things he started considering, just going through. Look at me. He said, I gotta be wretched. Why could he be doing? It's something about me. When a perfect man had to examine himself and say that he's wretched, nigga, you know you need to fess up. That man started looking for things for himself. He says, gotta be something about me. It's a wretched, it's something in me. And I wouldn't even contend with you. I wouldn't even argue with you. He accepted it. He said, I wouldn't even contend with him. Why else would he be doing this? He said, it's something about me wretched. Something I need to find about myself. You prove me. Why do you take me and you do to me what you do? He looked at it, it's something about me. He never said, it's something about you. You wrong. You wrong on this one. You wrong. That man had the willingness he'll go through it. You fight and you know you wrong. You question the man and you know you wrong. That's scary. So that man went through and didn't get away. What books did he tell us he linked to? Did he ever tell him about how he looked back at the book of Yahusha?
No.
Why? I wonder why he didn't read back. I want to hear him read Yahusha by Ben. Who knows probably why?
Wasn't written yet.
Wasn't written yet. See, what we do, we get the opportunity. See, this is why he got to be hard at us. I mean, come on, man. You got all these people you get to go back and look at. What? He didn't have no Yahusha. He had no Yahusha. He had no book of no Malachim. He had none of these books. These people just stood on their relationship and what they did know about him and applied themselves to know. If he brings something on me, surely it's something about me. Surely I need to examine to see what got me wretched. What put me in a situation where that man could put me, but then he recognized that when Elohim had finished, he said, I'm going to come through, I'm going to come forth as gold. He recognized that. Do we? No, we quit. We look for a reason to get out. We look for a reason to try to do something else. I knew I was going to hell. But that man was looking to examine himself, and he realized that man here is fixing me. All this is to get me fixed, to get me ready for him. That man looking at, he talked about if he was going to behold him and not another. That man recognized when that man finished, I'm going to behold him and not another. I ain't trying to go to Sheol. Y'all got to start, we got to just start considering stuff. It's easy to just, we take the words when we read them, but I don't think we really put our mind, you have to set your mind for it. You have to have your mind set for it. And now, for a man not to set his mind, it'd be stupid. Nothing gonna happen, nothing can come at me and the world can't do me no harm. That's a complete lie. The world kill Yahusha. The world will kill you too. Those are good, like, singing theatric, but he think about it's not practical. It's not practical. That man told them that the world hated him. How the world can't do no harm? He told her, Palau, he said they hated me. He said they hated me. How we sing song, we got caught up in the song, talking about the world can't do us no harm. These people kill that man. How they can't kill you? Because this is what is this theatrics. They give us these theatrics and we hold it over instead of realize all these are probable incidents that can happen to every one of us. You have to prepare your mind for them. You got to prepare your mind for the worst when you hear. You got to prepare your mind. That's the only way you're going to have yourself set when it comes. You think about the 3 Aubrey boys when they began that fiery furnace. I refuse to believe they just popped up and wasn't there. What is your mindset when you already been taken and you've been captured by somebody? I put nothing past these people. And they still refuse. Just because somebody captured their body, they still didn't have control over these people in the fires. They unlike us. You kept when in Rome, that's what you do. When in Rome, do wrong. When in Rome, do wrong. Call it what it is. Whenever you're in Rome, do wrong. And that's what they looked at. We wasn't doing it because they want them people to fall down and worship. Whenever they heard the sound, and they said we wouldn't be able to do it. And they had themselves already prepared and said that whatever you'll bring against us, that still won't move us. But the average of us would do like us, Sue. We'll sell out. We'll do whatever we had to do to get out that situation. And of course we know the Lord understands. The Lord understands. And he gave us a little time so we can get ready. Because had I gone in that den, I'd have died. I'd have went to hell. And don't realize, had I stood my ground and went, it might have been the thing that'll seal me. See, sometimes I told y'all about praying your way out of things. You also pray your way out of the plan of salvation. Because that's your proving point now. A lot of stuff he give us our proving point. Sick, sometimes want to get out and move too fast. Let's make sure we get accomplished what he wants. So I don't just move away from the sickness. I want to move away from what made me sick. Right. We talked about before the man that laid at 38 years coming back to the pool. And he was told after he was healed to go and do what? Unless... He didn't just leave there with a physical healing. He left there with a mental state, with a ruachnic state of understanding that could put me right back in the very detriment. Whether if I were born that way and I've been in a crippling state, that would encourage me or incite me. Let's use incite. Incite me to be mindful of, I lay in a condition for 38 years not being able to walk, and I cried. 38 years on right here bottom of the first one, and I don't get it. I ain't finna break down crying. And one of you, I ain't gonna break down crying. One of you, I ain't gonna be just totally just, really, that just took that just took the wind out of me. I got here early. I'm right here. And I'm waiting on this thing. I can feel it. This is it. It's gotta work. I done changed some things I've been doing. And you get right here, and somebody just walk straight off in that thing. All Tahaleen and Mr. Yahuwah for this healing, and you lay him. This man is totally against me. He let everybody just go right past me and let these people go. But all of that just to get you to the point that when he finally comes and bring you up to get you to understand something, when I move you from this state, I'm going to put you in a state that's going to be permanent. If you commit kata again, something worse going to happen. Now, you know what he put in mind? And just the state I was in was bad enough for me. Something worse than that, you ain't got to worry about me crossing you. But how he would understood that he'd never been sick? If he had been like down there for like 2 weeks and got back up. When time passed on, 2 weeks ain't no time, is it? I don't care what passed on. 38 years is a long time. That's a long time to be restricted, to be locked down. And that man said, if I sin, if I commit a kata, something worse gonna happen on you. That's what got him moving. That's why I'm here. I can't afford nothing worse than what I've been in. I can relate with him. I can relate to him. Being trapped and set, not for this long period of time. Want something and not getting it. Look like somebody else got it before you and look like you ain't gonna get it. I can't afford nothing worse than that. Y'all understand? Yes, sir. That's how you got to look at it. See, that worked for him, though. It worked for him. See, that's a completeness. Just healing somebody, getting somebody up, that's nothing. That's why you can go to these churches and get that. These people got power. These folk can do stuff, and they'll use his name. He told in the 7th chapter book of Matthew, he said, we did it in your shim. But he said, I don't know you. He told him, you work kataim, you work sin. He said, I don't know you. If people can work it in you, see, we're trying to get to a completeness with that man to where once he gives us what he gives us, we don't falter and go back. The problem with us, once you get out of your situation, You right back, like he said, a dog to his vomit.
Yeah.
And just like a sow that will watch, you go right back to the mire. So we're trying to start breaking them old habits, okay? So let's go. And the coon of the writings.
Might have tikva.
That's our goal, to try to make sure we have it. Let's, I want y'all to think about something. And we talked about it last night, some. Looking at just how, when they were in the gun, how Adam was in the gun, how it paralleled to the Shalakim, that they'll call the apostles. The fact that Yahuwah put Adam in a gun and he gave him rule over. The same thing Yahusha gave to the Shalakim. He gave them a rule over. And he put them in a place to where your rule is prominent here, where your rule is respected here, where your word will be heard here. That was a reason why he put them in a particular place. Adam, all his rules worked well. In the gun. When he got the gun, that stuff don't work no more. Just like Yahusha, once you get out from under the kaseed, which is the favor Elohim, stuff don't work for you no more. See, when we were under Yahuwah, we had favor. We had favor that things clicked, things worked for us. We could take down, it didn't take much of us. But once we got from under it, we understood that things don't work for us like that anymore. Which allowed us to realize just how favorable it was for us to be under his tutelage, to stay under him, because we recognize things that work. See, when we got that from him, when we became introduced to him, our father, I'm talking about Yahusha, not the father Yahusha, who they call Jacob, but the Yahusha as the arm, the being of Yahusha. You know, they call them the children of Yahusha, the benim of Yahusha. We got our first really introduction of dealing with him when we came from Mizraim. So we got to see the kaseed, the favor, and that favor was only benefited to us because of what? The Abba, that's right, because of the Abba. So now, when you start looking at all your favor is because of the Abba. It was because of the Abba. That's how we got our favor. That's how things allotted for us. That's how things work for us. So, you know what we did? It's kind of like kids. Y'all know, how many of y'all know kids that took over their family and left them businesses or whatever, left them things? Anybody know any people? Before kids, their parents left them somewhere, their businesses, or left them home, left them money. Anybody know it? And how many of y'all know the kids that lost it? You know why? Because they only had it because of the Abba. It wasn't something that they really felt attachment to or really felt like it was a need to put a care into it, because it was only allotted to them because of their relationship, because of the Abba. It wasn't because of anything they done, so they didn't really put anything into it for it to be where they would work to try to maintain it. So it was essential that the benim of Yahusha, they need to have some situation where they can understand that now you have a benefit with him because of what you've done, and not just because of the Abba. That makes sense? Yeah. So they got in the situation like losing the favor, the kaseed Elohim. When they got in the situation, realized things didn't work for them the way it did, realized that things were against them, realized they weren't as strong and powerful as they were, looking like things didn't click from the way it was, then they started to consider about establishing a relationship with the Abba for themselves. Y'all got what I'm saying? And that's something that's needful for us. It's good that we've got our first favor because of the fathers, but at the same time, you need to have your own relationship. Y'all got me? I appreciate what Abraham, Yitzchak, and Jacob did to get me started into this way, to allow the communication be set up that something would be granted till I be able to do it myself. Hello? To me, they kind of, I guess, almost like something like having training wheels on a bike. Eventually, I had to take them off. I won't forget where I started now, but now I'm riding. Y'all got it? Because I got my own. You know what gets you to get you better? Those training wheels start off, then you'll take. Sometimes what you would do, you take one training wheel off, and you'll see they start leaning to the side of the training wheel. You got to get up off that wheel. Now I got to get you out of the way. You fall. You get hurt, but you get your own experiences. Y'all got it? And that'll incite you more to what? They want to keep a balance. Hello? That's what you need with Yahuwah. You don't have a balance. You lean too much. Hello? You need to learn how to balance. That's why he told them they supposed to have those weights. How they supposed to be? Gotta be. I'm teaching you how to balance. Balancing is important for us, right? Let's look at something right quick. Let me see that's see if that's Matthew. Let's see. Is it 23? Not 23, 23. Matthew 23:15. Let's see, 23, maybe. He should have talked about them. I thought, yeah, that's on 23. Important. Look at this. Listen.
Woe unto you.
Woe is what? Let's stop for a second. Let's find out what woe means. Let's see. If you're a sinner, woe. Sheol, I cannot go. Yahuwah run the show. I might put that down somewhere. Nobody try to steal it. Let's see. Whoa. Listen. Great. Because we say destruction. How many of y'all remember that? We say destruction. Don't they make it great sorrow or distress? That's important for us to know. Whoa. Y'all hear me? Whoa. Great sorrow or distress. That's what woe is, okay? Let's see what happened. All right, now listen to what he said.
Woe unto you, scribes and parashim, hypocrites.
For those that don't know, that what they call them the Pharisees, parashim is actually the name. So and what it means, and people that know, people, this is what they'll say. Ask me what a Pharisee is. What do they call them? Pharisee. A hypocrite. That people, because you said something, you don't know. It actually means that means these are people. They separated. They separate themselves. That's why they were parashim. They separate themselves. They look at they do their obligation. You were told to be kudash, badal. So because of service, they were padal. We separate ourselves from them. That's why they had a problem with Yahusha. They saw him. They said that man eat with kataim. Because people were trying to put him in as though he was one of them. And they were looking for reason to show that he wasn't. The man eat with sinners. The parashim, we don't do that stuff. We're separate. We keep ourselves a sinner. And he wanted to show them that you are actually the people that's the problem. These people are in most of their condition because of you. You do worse things than them. And he's going over trying to tell these people something. See, woe, which is great sorrow or distress to who? Your scribes. And the parashim, you're separate when these people teach it. Your writers and your teachers. And look what he called. And false pretenders. These are the people that are going to have distress. But for some reason, everybody thought, woe is, Pharisee mean hypocrite, because it comes, Pharisee, hypocrite, this one word. No, he's addressing these people, false pretenders, because, listen what you do.
Ye pay tithe of mint.
Mint.
And anise.
Anise.
And cumin.
All of these are fragrant. All these are spices. All these will come out of your field. You brought your crops in. When you brought them in, they paid tithe on them. They brought a 10. You're supposed to keep them. You keep them in the storehouse. See, what you don't realize now, you realize these spices are worth money now. They get spices, throw them out the door. What you think you go to the store and pay for? You say, woo, this stuff high, because it's expensive. And they had them. That's what they have them for. You just don't know no better. You go to the store and they give you free salt. Free oregano, you paying for it. That's right. And these people knew, take this stuff and you put it up. And now this stuff is hot commodity. So you pay tithes of mint and anise and cumin, and this is what you did.
And have omitted the weightier matters of the Torah.
Oh, and have left the weightier, because guess how you pretty much sell mint and cumin and how you sell anise? Who got idea? Hands. He beat you. Tell me what it is. By the weight. Look how smart he was to tell them. Using something by what they bring in and told them about the weightier. What was heavier than, because all they were looking at, if you paid your tithe, what he going to do? He going to open a window in heaven and pour you out a blessing. He said, and you've omitted. You've left off the weightier matter. Because that's not what they brought in. You brought in by weight. Everything was done by weight. So he let them know, you would omit. You didn't do, right? Or you neglect the weightier matters of the Torah. Because your tithe came from where? It was in your Torah, which is instruction, directions. So you omitted that. You left off the weightier matter, something heavier, something that bear more weight of the Torah. Like what?
Mashpat,
Rekam,
and Amunah.
And Amunah. What about that?
These ought ye to have done.
Listen what you ought to do. These you ought to have done.
And not to leave the other undone.
So now, guess what you got to go back and look at? Just wait. Just him. You ain't have no balance. You know what happened if you don't have no balance now? Wow. And now to him that's able to keep you, what was it? Let's just say able to keep you balanced. Let's not look at fault. How about able to keep you balanced? So they looked at what he taught them on keeping those weights in their house. It made sense. They weren't supposed to have different weights in their house. They can't have a kilo of one thing and 9 ounces of something else and 1 ounce. No. Everything you look at, if you think about it, it made sense. Because you think about it, this thing, you're like, man, it's ridiculous. I don't have to use this. I use more of this than this. So I'm going to have more of this than this because I use more of this. He said, no, keep them all topped off. You're like, man, I'm going to keep running. I'm going to keep going to try to. It's because there's some, how many of you every season in your cabinet? It's some stuff you look and say, oh, I ain't going to get some more. Because you use more of it, don't it? He said, you got to keep all of them the same weight, though. You got to keep them all the same weight. Which means you're going to probably, guess what? To keep that, stop using that so much and start using some of these others. Get all of them to the same level. So now when I come back and I tell you how to keep the Torah days, I need you to keep all of it the same. The only way you understood that is by how you kept your stuff in your house. Make sense, ain't it? Because we got what you favor, what you gonna do? They favor tithe. They favor tithe more than anything. I ain't worried about no judgment. I'm gonna pay my tithe because the Bible says he gonna pour me out a blessing. So they use more tithe than they use anything. Y'all got it? He was trying to tell them, you gotta keep the same weights. And the only way they understood it was the reason because of what the Torah already told them. You have to keep all of the same weights in your house. You know what we do? Some of my kids, 1 or 2 I let do, some let the other one do. Then the weight gonna be off. So now you start not only just looking at starting with your seasons and stuff that you stack you get. Now you got to start keeping the same judgment with all of them. They all different. All spices the same? Yeah, man, these kids be so different now. You ain't gonna believe it. So do spices. They want you to keep the same weight. Did they help me understand something? Think about it. How else would we understand that? We said, treat your kids all the same. You know what you said? I love all my kids. We never said not to love them. We never questioned about your love. We talked about how things supposed to be done. So if I were keeping all the weights the same in my cabinet with all my spices, what am I doing when it comes to my kids? It's going to start to give me, well, if I had to keep this, I'm starting to watch how I do things with you, with y'all, because all this pertains in the house too. Y'all got, and I'm getting a better understanding of how the Torah and how effective it's going to be when I make sure I keep the weights. Like when we use the books. Let's see, right, 13 chapter. Let's say that word, 13:48, Matthew. What I said? What I said, 48? Let's see. Matthew. Let's see what happened. No, I'm more broke. I just said something. Good. Listen.
Which, when it was full, they drew to shore and sat down and gathered the tube into vessels, but cast the rosha away.
So you know what they were doing right now? Hands. Hard beat you. Go ahead. Hold on for a minute. You just raised your hand up. You had no answer for that man back there. Got an answer. That man said. That's what he said. Go. What answer? In Kazum? Wait a minute. Kazum. Separate. You heard that in Kazum? Okay. It would have been in Mattheyahu. He'd told him that. But he sat down. How he sat down like a shepherd does to separate the sheep from the goats. We talk about that. That'd been Mattheyahu. But yeah, similar. But what he would have been doing, they'd have been doing judgment. That's what they've been doing, judgment. Because now you just drew everything in on the net. So you're sitting down and you're starting to separate them. So you're going to separate them based off of value. If I'm going out to fish, we fish a lot of time fun, but a fisherman that actually fish, they're fishing for profit. So when they sit down, when they pull in their net, they're looking at what's going to bring me profit. I'm looking for profit. If I got some gold while fishing for tuna, and I said while fishing for tuna, I caught some snapper. They're not as expensive as the tuna, but I can still make some with those. These are profit. There's something I have blowfish. What I'm gonna do with blowfish? Absolutely throw them back. They're poisonous. I can do absolutely nothing with a blowfish. They poison. I'm getting rid. I'm doing judgment. I can't use it. I was fishing for one thing, but there are some other things that can have value to them as well that I'll keep. I can do nothing with this. And that's what they were doing. They were sitting down when they brought them in the vessel, and that's what they were doing, bring them in the marsh pot, and now I'm sitting down and I'm separating them. Listen. And guess what he's doing? What they're doing right here, hands, what does correlate to? What? Separating the wheat and the tare. Now that was good how you faked me, Leonard, son. Like she raised her hand. Now go ahead. Who I got? We'll go with the same thing we just read in the 23rd chapter of the book of Matthew, when he told them what they ought to have done, which was what? What they ought to have done? Pay your tithes. Wow. They were already paying their tithes. He said judgment. Judgment, he said, these they ought to have done. So this is what he's showing them right here. They're doing judgment. He said, this is part of what you're doing. We're putting a balance in. Let's do judgment. Okay, this is what they're doing, judgment. This is symbolism of judgment right here. That's what he told me. He said, he told you pay tithes of anise, cumin, and mint. And you've omitted or you left out the weightier matter of the Torah, which was what? First when he told you what? Judgment, much pot. Which when it was filled, they drew out, and sitting by the shore, they chose out the tube into vessels, but the bad they cast forth. That's what he's doing. That's how I know they're doing mosh pot. He said, this is what you ought to have done. Listen.
So shall it be at the end of the alarm.
Wow.
The Malachim shall come forth and sever the Rosha from among the Sadak.
Same thing. He said it's the same thing. And they would have knew that, because guess why? Hands, why they would have knew that? Why would he use that scenario? Wow, it's time. Yes, sir, Bishop. Because embarrassed sheep were Luke. Luke was embarrassed sheep. I thought Luke was from New Jersey. Who? Luke. Oh, look, you know what? I had to think, listen, I was trying to figure out, I was saying to myself, what is he talking about? Yeah, Lut, who they call Lot, Lut. Well, go ahead, what you going to tell me? I really want what I was thinking, but y'all got me off now. So y'all did a good job. Fooling with y'all. That man talking about Luke. I thought he said Luke. I was trying to figure out. Luke was embarrassed sheep. I'm like, what is this man talking about? It's some strange stuff. So shall it be at the end of the alarm. The Malachim shall go out and shall separate the Rosha from among the just. Come on.
and shall cast them into the furnace of fire.
Yeah.
There shall be wailing and gnashing of teeth.
That's right. Well, what I was trying to get y'all to look at, the scenario that he used toward it, y'all kind of threw me out, was the fact that they were fishermen. A couple of things you look at, they were fishermen. They were fishermen because if you look at anywhere where he put them at, he always gave them coastlines. So it only made sense when he gave them certain things or he told them certain things, they would be able to kind of connect to it because it was already part of the craft. You either fishing, either you were builders, or either you were collectors, you know, like money collectors, as Yahusha were. These people did, you had all these different occupations. So when he taught them about things they should know. Y'all got it. It don't make sense to talk about things you don't know. Shaul in the 7th chapter of the book of Romans, what did he tell us he did? Hands, hands, hands. Hold on, I got Bishop, I know I got you there. I got Ryan back there, he been missed back there. Go ahead, Ryan. Say it a little lower. What's it? That makes sense. So Ryan, I don't know the Torah. That's exactly right. So everything he said, guess who he was talking to? Man, I don't know nothing about no fishing. I wasn't talking to you. The people he was talking to, all their regions were coastlines. So they were familiar with the craft. You know, that's what hurt us. You don't know enough about stuff. This hurts us too because you don't know. He said, a fisherman doesn't start separate. Listen, we've been deep sea fishing. You remember as soon as we catch them fish, that man said, let's go ahead and divide the fish up right here. Y'all remember what they did with the fish? Put on the string and threw all of them in there together, didn't it? When we got through with that boat, we came out what they did. They brought all the fish out and said, let's separate them. You don't separate them while you're out there. And what he said is actually true. You don't separate them until you get back. That's when you put them all out and you start separating. You start looking, something they throw back then, something they give it, they look at something, because some you might see something like it's wrong with it. So you want to get to where you're in a clear enough spot to where you can sit down and you can rationally look at them and you can make a decision on what you're keeping. Right. Whether it's even worth it or not. Some things don't even make the cut, don't even make the boat. Yeah. Torah keeps some stuff from making the boat. It ain't got the right length to it. Or some of it ain't even seasoned. You said, man, I love them. Throw it back, it ain't seasoned. That's how we understood when he came by and he told them how he wasn't passing over again the book of Amos. You got the wrong time, you can't keep no grouper. It ain't season for them. Snapper, you can't keep them. So he told Yahusha, he said, I ain't gonna pass by no more. So you know what they do? They pass by, they said, man, it's a mess of groupers running over there. I ain't even going over there. Because it ain't season, I can't do nothing with them. So now he told y'all, when he showed Amos the basket, asked him what he saw. He said, I see the teat, the basket. He told him, what you see? He said, basket of summer fruit, with summer pari. What is kayits is the word for summer fruit, kayits. So he said, kayits, summer fruits. And he told him, I ain't passing by no more. He let him know it's season now. It's open season. Y'all hear? It's open season on them. So all that was, that's why he told her of the times. See that? You have no need I write unto you. Because guess what? Now you know him. People just think he's talking about, see, you look at the cloud. These are things he started to let us know that you need to pay attention to other signs. But the thing they paid attention to based off of those signs were based off of what happens during that time. What do you typically do when the sun is hot and these things, when this time of the season coming? Huh? Somebody said borrow? That's right, you harvesting. You're starting to harvest, and then they start to get cold. At that point, you start bringing everything in. Everything ripe, I got to get it in now. It's finna be it. If some stuff don't make the cut, I just got to leave it. I can't, it didn't develop all the way. I can't do nothing with it. I ain't going to take it, it can't develop when I cut it loose. All I can get is everything that's right. And I got to go, and the rest of it's going to be destroyed in the cold. That's what Yahuwah looking up. When that man get ready to come back here, you ain't developed enough. I can't use you. Do we understand that? Yes, and that's what he looked at. At this point, I got to get what's right. I got to go. I can't wait any longer. I got to get what's right, and I just got to go. So that's why we got to look. That's why he let them know that the end was in on his people. He said, the end is here. I got to gather in my people now. I got to get them. Listen. Now he said, and he going to cast them into the furnace of fire. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. Listen, these folk be wailing. Listen.
Yahusha saith unto them,
What did he say?
Have you understood all these things?
And
They say unto him, Yea, adone.
why he just didn't just keep going and say, listen, man, if you don't know, you just don't know. He wanted to make sure it was clear. I want to make sure you understood it. Did you understand everything I just told you? And he knew they should have understood it simply because this is already your occupation. You're already familiar with this. Listen.
Then said he unto them,
Listen.
Therefore every scribe which is instructed in the Malkuth of
See that right?
Shamayim
Every teacher. You all see that? The scribe. Every scribe that's instructed in the Malkuth of Shamayim.
is like unto a ish,
That is a what?
a householder,
He owns a house.
which bringeth forth out of his treasure
What did he do?
things new and old.
Sound like he got a balance. All I'm gonna do is just bring out my new toys. He said, no. He brings out the new and the old. He's got a balance when he does it. That's why you look at these guys, they're not properly equipped if you're not gonna use both. It's gotta be a balance. Y'all know that? Hello? Wow. That's tight. Can I show y'all something?
Yes, sir.
That's how I do this to you. How would Yahuwah do it? Oriah 24. Nothing y'all don't already know. How about that? Oriah 24. 24, let's see, 24, 22. Oriah, they call it Luke. My bosses insist upon y'all learning something. All right, let's say. Listen.
Yea, and certain Nashim also of our company made us astonished, which were early at the Kubar. And when they found not his body, they came, saying that they had also seen a Kazun of Malakim, which said that he was Kai.
He was alive. Come on.
And certain of them which were with us went to the Kubar and found it even so as the Nashim had said.
Yeah.
But him they saw not.
What happened?
Then he said unto them, O fools, and
They
slow.
sell fool. It's a alas then for us. Alas, they put fools. And they write, or now they call it the Latin saying they call foolish.
And slow of lob to amend all that the Nabaim have spoken.
People not quick to believe what they said. That's dangerous. And that's what we're trying to correct. We don't want that. But there's reason behind it. There's reason behind it. Who know what have been a provocation of why they were slow to believe it? Hands? Yes, sir. They needed the ability to understand. He ain't giving them understanding. Remember we talked about the ability? Because later in the same book, he said, then he opened their understanding that they might understand. So he gave them the ability. So it's a reason why. It's a reason why you don't get it. It's a reason why they don't get it. He had to give you understanding. He has to give you the ability to be able to do it. You can't just read and do it on your own. He had a criticism for him, but let's be practical. Could they do it without understanding? That's what I do. I just read. I know it. You have absolute, and you can't understand either.
Yeah.
Let's look. Come on.
Ought not Mashiach to have suffered these
He
things
was expected to suffer these things
and to enter into his caboose.
so he can get it into. So he was expected to go through these things, to suffer these things, so that he can enter in his caboose. How you supposed to get in? Who? Same way. Anybody got somebody in the writing where it told you how, hands? Oh, I got Ryan again. Hold on, Ryan. I think a bishop gonna challenge you. Oh, y'all been out Trump. Go ahead, Boston. What you gonna say? Kazum, what the time? Oh, that's not as trying to say that. You're gonna look at oh, he did talk about how these came in by tribulation. Yeah. And you also got Shaul told him that in the 14th chapter, Acts of the Shalakim. When they stood around him after they had beat him, they stoned him and left him for dead. He rose up and he preached in the city. And after that, he returned back to the city. And while he did it, the Talmudim were watching the taught one. He told them how we must through much tribulation enter into the Malkuth Elohim. So they understood it by how? By his talking. He was teaching by his actions. They saw his action, they saw that they stood around him, and they supposed he was dead. And when he got up, he went right into another city and started teaching. He left that one and came right back to it. So he let them realize you can't get away from it. That's it. I mean, a lot of stuff these folks be doing. Like them folks say, man, you know what, man? I was like Jonah, man. I was running. Where did people get these conversations from? The man told you why he did what he did. These folks have no understanding. You know what I'm saying? I was running from my calling. And I'm just telling you how people do. That is not even the truth of what they said. If you go back and you look at the story of what Yuna actually told him, he said he knew that Yahuwah was going to be recalmed to them. That's why he go, that man never said, oh, Lord, I'm finna run from my calling. That man wasn't running from no calling. He said, I knew Yahuwah would do that. That's why he didn't do it. But you know, how many of y'all heard people say, man, I like Jonah, man. You know what I'm saying? I was running from my calling. And people say stuff, and it's just the dumbest statements ever, because people ain't been told nothing. They just been saying, they heard somebody else say it, so now all these folk like Jonah. Pete and repeat, them the best two twins out there. So now he told us that he was expected to do that, so he knew what his expectation. This is a different when you know what your expectation is. Some job they hire you, they'll walk you through and show you what all your responsibilities are. Those are your expectations. In the morning, be here at 6 o'clock a.m. every day. Down there, I come in, I need to come in for a second. Oh, no, I'm sorry. No, I didn't mean to do that. Come in for a second. Hypothetically, come in, 6 o'clock in the morning, you'll need to come in. You come in, I want you to come in, I want you to go immediately to your locker. You lock over here, it's your combination, so you know what your combination is, get your stuff out here, and you'll come down here, and you'll go down here, and when you get down here, I need you to report to him in the morning so he'll know you're here when you do that. After that, I need you to go down here, and I need you to check this and make sure all this stuff is done right here, and this is done. And when you get through with that, then you'll go and you'll do such and such, and then you'll have your lunch break at 12 o'clock, from 12 to 1 o'clock, and after that, you'll come back. And the reason I do that, when I come back at 12 o'clock, at 1:30, this joker at lunch. He finna get up and come back at 1:45. He is not paying attention to the obligation. He came in at 6:35. He went to lunch at 11. 1:30, he said 15 more minutes, I gotta try to get on back to work. See what I'm saying? So this gonna be a different. Now when things don't work for him, he wonder why pay change, why stuff happening. He don't realize only reason things are happening against you because you didn't look at what was expected. You didn't do what was expected of you. Now he was told about some benefits, and he wants to come in the office and he want to have a meeting with me because he's starting to notice his check and starting to notice some things he was told, and you know, he just trying to look like the company kind of be lying. You know what I'm saying? You didn't want to call lying, but you know, in versus looking at no, because you didn't do what was expected of you. Don't expect the benefits. So now when Yahusha came, he looked at the only way for him to enter into this was to, that's what he was obligated to do, and he showed him that. He knew that before he took the job. That's it. That's what they expected you the whole time. Whole time. That's what he told them. That's why I read and let them see when they saw him. Hello? Y'all don't even catch on to why he was a man acquainted with sorrow. He knew he wasn't getting out of this, like Asu knew he wasn't going to be saved. He looked at how he could get out of that. He did. Why wouldn't he? He's a man. Why wouldn't you try to get out of there? Nobody walking in there trying to kill him. No, that's stupid. A man like us, he's looking at how he can get out of it. Just like Asu was looking at how he going to get out of that too. But the man already told him, I hate you. And that got that. You ain't getting out of this one. And he looked at, that's why he was sorry. But the whole time you living, you know what you know you living to? I'm living to die. Unlike us, we wondering when, how. I know the exact date and time. So you living to a date and time. Everybody out there wondering, I don't know when my time going to click out. He couldn't tell you that lie. I know my time ticking out. And the closer it got to it, he kept grinding down. He told the woman at the well, you ain't going to believe it, but the hour was coming. Yes, sir. Not the day, not the months, not the years. The hour coming. That closing in fast, you ain't got about an hour. That's like a man on death row. You think that man playing, he had the hour countdown? That man real serious right then. That man doing some real contemplating thing about how I'm going to do this. How I'm going to do this. Get myself strong. Get myself whatever I got to do, but I'm breaking down to myself looking because I ain't never did it before. But I need to get my head together because I'm getting ready to do it and it's getting closer to the time. I got to try to be strong, man. How I'm going to be strong? I'm going to be dead. I'm going to be hot. I'm going to be crying. What I'm going to be doing? I'm going to be in a lot of pain. I'm going to be suffering. I got to try to be strong. I got to try to get myself through this. How many different things you think we're going through in mind? So he couldn't do a whole lot of playing and laughing, huh? He's a man acquainted with sorrow and grief. Just like our Sue. Y'all got it? All right. Let's see what he did, 27.
And beginning at Mushah,
and
all the Nabaim, he expounded unto them
and where?
all the Kitabim,
The what?
things concerning himself.
Let's see what happened. Y'all done read this before. I'm just killing time. I ran out. Come on.
And they drew nigh unto the village, whither they went, and he made as though.
Hold on. They ain't never moved to 28. They're at 27. Go ahead. And they drew nigh to the town, whether they were going, and made as though he would go further. Y'all already know that. I already taught y'all about that. For those that don't know that watch, it should be the 14th chapter of the book of Yahusha. See, all that's important, because remember what he's doing. He's starting at Mushah. Okay? So if he started at Mushah, there are going to be things that are going to be significant for them to look, because he told them something he was going to do through Mushah. Hands. I got my bishop again. Did anybody want to take that spot from Bishop? Hold on, Chris. Chris, you trying to fake us out? Oh, that hurt. That man said, oh, okay. Hold on. Let's do that. Bishop, do you want to answer or you want to pass? Hold on. That man's, he pointed a hand. He said, I want to see he know book, chapter, and you heard what Chris said. Take that finger and all right, let's see. Chris, you want to take that challenge? Oh, you heard what he said. He hollered chapter and verse 2. Oh, my goodness, confident. What you got? What? How about that? No, that Vermont bar. 27, that's 27:15. Oh, okay. That man looked at Lee like he was correcting Lee. Yeah, Vermont bar, yeah. Vermont bar 27:15. What you gonna say, Bishop? That's exactly right. You punch your finger at me again. Bar that hand up again. Well, okay, this is key why you need to pay attention. Key things he told me he was going to do. He told me he was going to coom. So if you were looking for somebody that came out of the womb, you're going to miss it. That's not what he told you. He told you I was going to coom up, okay? A baby drops down. Isn't that right? So you couldn't use that. I was going to coom up. He was going to be like unto me. So we had to live with somebody that was going, that's why he had to go back over it. Because now since you ain't catch on, when I give you the understanding, the ability, you're going to need the tool. You're going to need, if I gave you the tools, you need something to work on to make sure you can do it, right? So I'm going to give you the information. So when I give you the ability, you know exactly how this goes. So if I'm going through Mushah, pay attention. It's going to make sense why I'm going to go with Mushah, and I'm going to use that because what did I just do? I just combed up. I just came up from the moon. It's going to be significant to you. This is what he told you. I'm going to comb up one from among you of the Akim. That's why we had to know where he came from. That's why we're arguing, and that's why he did certain things that put arguments. When he told him about, he that among on me, as the Kitabim have said, out of his belly shall flow fountain. That's how we know what came out of him. A mist going to come out? No, but he was talking about it was going to spring up out of the mouth, of course, out of the other, but it was going to start in the inner part, right? So it was going to spring out. And he said, but this spake he of the Ruach of them that which should among on him. For the Ruach was not yet given because the Yahusha had not been. So he had been kabul, which means he hadn't what? Suffer. He told you had to suffer, remember? The coom coming, but the coom couldn't come until he completed the suffering. Got it? The suffer. Remember that? He had to suffer. That's the commitment. You cooming, getting kabul, it's based upon you suffering. Okay? All these things are important for you to know. All right? So when we watched him coom up, that's what he told us. The argument was when he told them about them believing on him, as, well, among on him as the Kitzabim, the scripture said, they had an argument. They were arguing about who he was. Some would argue that he was the Mashiach. Said, no. The Mashiach, where he was supposed to come from. They started arguing because all these things they needed to know and all these things were referenced. So when they go back in their mind, they start to examine to see, was he the one? Nothing could be left wrong. Everything had to line up. The same way with your salvation. People say, nobody don't know. When things line up, we know. So that's why it was important to make sure all these things were lining up. Like he said, that's why he said, I can go back through the writings and show you. So there'll be no doubts about this. That I am the one that Musha talked about. They were looking for somebody to come out from the womb, you're going to mess up. He said he's going to raise up one like unto me from thy king. Him you're going to hear. So that's the same thing Musha came up from the Ma'im. That's where she took him up from. He coomed up from the Ma'im. Yahusha did too. He coomed up from the people. Hello? He was. The people had him. Hello, he told us to cast the bread upon the water, and what happened? He told us many days were coming back. He told us in the 6th chapter, he said, my flesh indeed, what was it? That's right, he told us food. He said, I coomed up. We gave him to the people, didn't it? After many days, what he did? He came right back. You know what these folk doing? They going throwing some bread on the water. That bread gone. Them fish done ate that stuff, seagull done grabbed it. You better stop it. He was talking, all the thing we knew that made sense for us with the Ma'im was that he referred to the people as being water. So when Pelotus told the people, he said, see ye to it. So he cast the bread to them. When he broke it, he said, take it and divide among yourselves. He said, this is my body, which was broken for you. This was bread, right? Lakam, his body. Well, when he gave it to the people, what happened after many days? He came right back. You don't know how many folks in here got family members out here throwing bread in the water looking for it to come back. They ain't seen that bread yet. They tell them, but the Lord's still working. Man, them seagulls gone. Them fish pick that stuff apart. You better stop being stupid. You can't afford to be stupid. Looking for some imaginary stuff. It all referred back. That's why he would let us know that my flesh indeed is meat and my blood is drink. But don't worry about it. So it made sense when he went back through. Now you're dealing with Nabaim, but we're talking about why he started Musha. And it makes sense. I'm talking about me getting up. So you understand that I'm the one he rose up. He's just like me. He coomed him up. Okay. Musha came from the Akin. He came from Louis. And he became the second highest ruler in Mizraim. Yahusha coomed up, he coomed up, and he became the second high ruler in Shamayim. So you don't believe it. He like unto me. He like unto me. He's going to comb him up. Okay, don't worry about it. All right, listen. Go ahead. And they drew nigh to the town. It said nigh. Don't know him. They drew nigh. He said they drew night. It was dark getting dark to the town. Whether they were going, and he made as though he would go further. And you guys were taught that, correct? How many don't remember y'all taught that? Don't remember. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. For real? Wow. 14th chapter, book of Yahusha. Don't forget now, he'd have had to teach them this because he went back over it. Yah, they call it Jeremiah. Yahu. 14, see if it's 9. I think 11 we'll read down. Let's see what they told us. I just want y'all to get a little quick understanding. How about that? All this y'all know. That way y'all can see whether or not if a man know what he's doing or not. How about that? All right? We'll see, right? We'll prove it out. Let's see. Because I might not know what I'm doing. This might be just a shot in the wind. Keep your eyes on me. You'll be surprised. People fake you all the time to try to look like they know what they're doing, and they don't know. So make sure you keep watching me. See if I don't slick you. Listen, 9th verse. This is the Latin. This is the Greek, Latin, perversion, James. Come on. All of them perverted. I don't get none of, my judgment is just. My judgment is sadaq. All of them perverted. Listen.
Why shouldest thou be as an Ish astonished, as a mighty Ish that cannot save? Yet thou, O Yahuwah, art in the midst of us, and we are Kara by thy Shem, leave us not.
So they tell him, why would thou be as a wandering man, as a mighty Ish that cannot save? Because when they got him there, he made their face as though he was trying to go somewhere else. That's why they were watching him. And he had to do that because he had to fulfill the Kitab, the writings. As simple that it is to us, he got people watching like me who pay attention, who remember what they read. You ain't gonna believe why I remember what I read at, what I read. I read Musha, is your Torah. I read the Kitabins, which are I read your Nabaim, which are what they call your prophets. And I read the Kitabin, the writings. Some watching them. Just like they were. We're watching them. So when they get there, he went, they were trying to get him, and he was looking like he was doing something else, and they could look at him and tell, why is this man looking like he's trying to go somewhere else? Because the writers already said he was going to look like a man that was wondering about something else. That's why they say he made it face as though he would have gone further. They could tell them, they were looking, they could tell, this man seemed like he preoccupied with something. You know what we said, I ain't got time to fool with him. But when you know the writers, people that know the writers are watching him. Mm-hmm. It makes sense. Why are you looking like somebody that's wondering like you don't know what's going on? As somebody that can't save. Because they didn't know. They thought they were doomed. Remember, they told they supposed it had been him that should have redeemed them. And besides all that, it was the third day. And you know what kind of faith he had there? He looking around like he can't save nobody. Mm-hmm. But that was part of what he was going over so they could recognize it. They need to be paying attention. So what the purpose of going back all these books? So start paying attention when you're watching me now. You hadn't been paying, he let them know you hadn't been paying attention, nothing I'm doing. Pay attention to me. Everything I'm doing it for a reason. Well, I'm sitting here and I'm looking like I got my mind on something else because the writing told me. Why I'm sitting here wondering. You think them people knew he could save? He didn't look like he could. He didn't look like he could. Come on.
I think you're on verse 8.
Verse 8, back it up. Why you say that thing on 8? Okay. Oh, listen. Oh, it's talk about him being the hope of Yahusha. Come on. This is what's going to go into the conversation with them. Go ahead. Listen.
Oh, the Yakal of Yahusha, the Yeshua thereof in the time of trouble.
What?
Why shouldest thou be as a stranger in the Arats,
or
as a wayfaring Ish that turneth aside to tarry for a Layla?
Everything relate to him. So for those that didn't pay attention earlier when we read, we didn't go all the way up, we'll look at it. Y'all see what happened? So they looked at, now the Latins would call him, he was the expectation of Yahusha. Y'all see that? The Greeks taught him the Yahuwah, thou art, your call of Yahusha. He was the expected way and the deliverer. Listen.
Us.
In the times of what?
Troubles.
They was under the Roman rule. They was under Roman rule. Why art thou become as a
sojourner
among the what?
Land.
A sojourner would be a stranger. Somebody that's come along in the land. Or as one born in the land, yet turning aside for a resting place when he came now. Okay? They call him as a wayfaring man. This is a traveling man. Okay? Let's see what happened. We go back over right quick. The 24th chapter of the book of Oriel. There's a ground, Monty. There's a ground. What we're at 24? No, we'll come back up right quick. 24:14, so they can just see why it makes sense. Okay. So take me up a little bit more. Come down 13. All right. 13, yeah. Okay, let's see. 13, come on.
And behold, two of them went the same yom to a village, Kara Emmaus, which was from Jerusalem about 80 furlongs.
They put 60. Go ahead.
And they talked together of all these things which had happened.
Y'all see what they were doing? Now they talking together all the things which had happened. They discussing everything that didn't happen. Go ahead.
And it came to pass
What happened?
that while they communed together
That while they were talking in reason, some say they were arguing. The writer depend on the writers. With who?
Yahushua himself drew near and went with them.
See that? While they were sitting there arguing, going back and forth about everything that happened, disputing with each other about it, he just popped up on them and started walking with them. Listen,
But their own were holding that they should not know him.
they didn't have the ability to see him. Go ahead.
And he said unto them,
What was that?
What manner of communications are these that ye have one to another, as ye halak and are sad?
See that? He want to know, what is the discourse y'all having or the discussion y'all having with each other, and y'all sad. And what happened?
And the one of them, whose Shem was Cleopas, answering said unto
I
him,
couldn't imagine what he could have said.
Art thou only a stranger?
Art
in-
thou only a sojourner? That's why they go back up. They weren't catching it. They were already told that he was going to be as a sojourner. And listen what happened.
in Jerusalem, and has not known the things which are come to pass there in these Yamim.
Talking about in these troubled times. Because they told you when it was going to be, when he was going to do this, it was going to be in the time of troubles. So why he making this time significant? Because it was a time of trouble. That he was going to come and be a sojourner among them. Listen.
And he said unto them,
What?
What things?
And
They said unto him,
concerning who?
Yahushua of Nazareth,
Who?
which was a Nabi, mighty in deed and debar, before Elohim and all the
Listen.
and how the Rosh Kohanim and our Sharim delivered him to be condemned to moot,
See that? And
have crucified him.
listen.
But we trusted,
Oh, we what?
we trusted
What we trusted?
that it had been he,
Who should have did what?
have redeemed Yasharal.
Who should have saved Yahusha? Where they get off doing that? Yahweh had already told us that.
Right.
That he was going to be a man, he was going to be a sojourner among us. As a mighty one did, he going to wind up looking like somebody they couldn't save. They didn't even know. Their eyes were holding, so they didn't even see it. They told you when they called out, they called him to your call to Yahusha. Now he want to know, what's the problem? They said, you must not be from around here. You must be a sojourner. Because he just jumped in and started walking with them. And the whole time, all he was doing was fulfilling the writing. See, this is something you'd have read in Jeremiah, you would have paid this stuff no attention.
That's right.
You ain't trained to. It's not your job to pay attention. It don't say Jesus wept. But this is fulfilling everything he telling them. That's why he'd have went back over it. Now it have made sense.
Yeah.
How he came in among us and we discussed it. We saying he was the hope of Yahusha. That's what they were already saying. You're the hope of all y'all. And you think when Jeremiah who was saying that, he actually knew what he was saying? All he was doing was repeating what Yahuwah gave him. The hope of Yahusha, a sojourner among them. And be a one that looking like one that cannot save. Now folk didn't see him as no Yasha. Their eyes were holding. But now it all started to make sense for everybody. That's why it was important for him to come. We would have never known this had he came. We would have read Jeremiah who would have understood that. Not until he came and completed it and gave us the ability. That gave us the ability. They want to go, how you gonna get the ability to understand that he hadn't even done it? You can't understand it till it's done. All right. Okay, so y'all see that? They looked at he should have redeemed Yahusha. And listen, and now, besides all this, today is the third Yamin since these things were done. So we're getting back to where we started at. Let's go back down to 29. I just want to show y'all that so you see the correlation in the 14th chapter of Jeremiah, because y'all were taught this before. 14 and 8 and 9 correlates into it. Y'all got it? Now we back at 29. Y'all know I'm killing time because it can't be going nowhere. This stuff y'all already know anyway. All right, come on.
But they constrained him,
Doing what?
saying, Abide with us,
So what happened?
for it is toward evening,
And?
the Yom is far spent. And he went in to tarry with them.
And they told her he wasn't going to sleep for the night. Isn't that right? So he went to rest with them. Come on.
And it came to pass,
What happened?
as he sat at meat with them,
What happened?
he took Lacom,
And did what?
Baraka it,
And
gave to them.
and listen what happened.
And their were open,
Their eyes were open,
and they knew him.
and
He vanished out of their
listen.
And they said one to another,
Listen what they did.
did not our law burn within us
When?
while he talked with us by the Darak,
And did what?
and while he opened to us the Kitabim?
That thing got him. That man word was hot. And you know what, man? You know what they looking at? Yahoo again. He said, "It's not my word like as a fire."
That's right.
Yahoo, the 23rd chapter, he told him that.
That's
He
right.
said, "Not my word like as a fire." Why else do you think they were going to say, "Did not it burn within us"?
That's right.
While he was doing what? Blinking his eyes?
Talk with him.
He was talking. That word was burning. Yahoo already told us that. He said, "Not my word like as a fire."
That's right.
And like a hammer that break the rock in pieces. That's what he's trying to tell you. I tap that stony heart.
Yeah.
Listen.
And they come up the same hour
This one, and they rose up the same hour
and returned to Jerusalem,
and
found the 11 gathered together,
listen,
and them that were with them,
and those that were staying with them. Listen.
saying,
Listen what they told them.
the Adon is risen indeed.
They said, of a truth, he did it. They've been hearing it. They let them know he actually did it. And
Hath appeared to Shimon.
go ahead.
And they told what things were done in the Darak,
And
how he was known of them in breaking of Lacom.
they gotta tell the truth. That's right. And so we knew him right off the rip. We knew him after he had broke bread with us.
Yeah.
Listen.
And as they thus spake, Yahushua himself stood in the midst of them, and
Which means
saith
he was
unto
where?
them,
In the middle of them. Mist is evenly on both sides in the middle. Now, would I take a measuring tape and while he was standing, hold, stop, don't move. Hold on. Scoot their way a little bit. No. Them white folks are crazy. He was in the middle of them. Let's go there. Their definition for mist is evenly divided over. I assure you, I'm not trying to go and put a ruler down the ground because of a word they use. He just appeared in the middle of them. Okay?
right,
All right, listen.
and saith unto them,
What?
Shalom be unto you.
What?
But they were terrified and affrighted, and supposed that they had seen a Ruach.
And suppose they seen the ruach. Listen what happened.
And he said unto them,
Listen.
why are ye troubled?
And
Why do thoughts come in your law?
he want to know, why is it in your heart? Why stuff came in your law? Listen.
Behold my hand and my regal, that it is I myself.
And listen.
Handle me and see,
Listen.
for a Ruach had not basar and bones, as ye see me have.
Mm-hmm.
And when he had thus spoken, he shewed them his hands and his regal.
Mm-hmm.
And while they yet among not for Shusha, and wondered, he said unto them, have ye here any meat?
That's two. That's two. Give me the 46th chapter book of Yahusha. They call it Ezekiel. Yeah. Yahusha. I'll play it out a bit. Yahusha. That's going to be strengthened of Yahuwah strengthens. That's his name. Yahusha. Yahusha. Yahuwah strengthens. Let's see. Listen. Huh? In the wrong chapter. Y'all got 47, 46. Couldn't be no Baba Jahid. Way to catch that, Dave. He been fighting me. That's still your pastor Greek. That tight. He's doing here. Some of them are lawyer. Chelsea, you to be one of his faithful members. You still one of his faithful members? That's scary. Did you know your wife one of his faithful members? The wife. What happened? He's getting put out tonight. He wants you to lead that assembly. All right, this is the Greek, Latin, James perversion. All of them perverted. My judgment is just. Listen.
Thus saith Yahuwah Elohim,
Who?
the door of the inner court that looketh toward the Shadim shall be shut the 6 working Yamim, but on the Shabbat it shall be opened.
Listen.
And in the Yom of the Kodash Yarik, it shall be opened.
Y'all hear that? Well, you can't say Kadash Yari. When you say Kadash, that already covers it.
Yes, sir.
Kadash means new moon. Chodas. Kadash already means new moon. So you say Kadash moon, Yari, then you're saying new moon, moon. So Kadash will cover it. Y'all got that? Kadash.
Yes, sir.
It was spelled Chodash. Kadash. That's how they spell it. It sounds for me, it sounds like Kudash. The kuf is separated. Kadash is saying what they would quote unquote call new moon. Agree, Boston? So y'all got that? Typically they spell out right. Chodash should be it. Right here. Y'all see that? Chodash is going to be for new moon, what they would call new moon. The Yarik is just the name he gave what they call the moon is the Yarik. But when it comes into the new point, it's going to be called Kadash. All right? Appreciate it. So he's telling them about how the gate should work, the doll. It's going to be shut on the 6 working days. But on the 7th, it's going to be open, and on the Kadash, on the new moon, as they call it. Listen.
And the Sar shall enter.
The Sar is your ruler, okay? And the ruler shall enter by the way of the
porch
of
that gate, or that doll without.
The doll is the word for the gate or the door. Swinging, opening door, the doll, which is one you just say the dollar, the doll, which is one of your alphabet, or one of our alphabet. So the doll is the door, the gate, the swinging door, hanging door, swinging, because it's opening. Got it? So that's how we're looking at it. So now he's telling them about entering at the doll. Listen.
And shall stand by the post of the doll, and the Kohanim shall prepare the burnt zabak, and his shalom zabak, and he shall shakah in the threshold of the doll.
That's where he's going to do it. He's going to do it at the entrance of the doll. Listen.
Then he shall go forth, but the doll shall not be shut until the evening.
Okay. It just says shut till evening. Is going to be up on him. This okay, evening. Okay. So it's not going to be shut to the evening. Come on.
Likewise, the arm of the Aratz shall shakah at the doll at the door of this doll before Yahuwah in the Shabbat and in the Kodash.
Come on.
And the burnt zabak that the Sar shall offer unto Yahuwah in the Shabbat Yom shall be 6 lambs without blemish,
and
a ram without blemish. And the meat zabak shall be an ephah for a ram, and the meat zabak for the lambs, as he shall be able to give, and an hin of oil to an ephah.
Hold on for a minute. So the ephah for a ram, meat free will offering, a meat offering for the ram, and a meat offering for the lamb. The barak of the Greeks told you they were going to do it of his hands. That's why he had been paying attention while he appeared. That's why he was showing them his hands. Because the gift, that's why he told you, nobody take my life. I lay it down. He did it with his own hands. That's why it was important when he showed her that he was able to show him his hands. He had just gave him, he told them it was written and he had to suffer. All the things he was doing, he was trying to show them the same thing they knew. That's why when the people were there, when he was on the tube, they were sitting at the door when they were shakaring him. He was the door. He told you I was the door. He never talked about them entering. He told them they were supposed to shakar. You don't think that's odd that these people would be worshiping at a door? The reason why, because that door was their entranceway to get into the Mount Cool. That's how we understood that he would told us that he was the way, that he was the Ma and he was the Kai. That nobody can get to the Abba. That's why we worship the door. That's why we were worshiping the door. It would look stupid to people. We were looking at it because this was the entranceway. before we went into it, we had to know how to shakar, and we appreciate the fact that the interest were made for it. Even Kof told her, and so an interest was ministered to you. Why would they catch it? Why would you catch it? He kept telling us that I'm the door. And the Shah was supposed to show you that he had did it. It was of his own hands that he done this. That's what we were watching for. That's why the people that watched and they waited, we knew it was Yahuwah. Why was he telling us that nobody took his life? I laid it down. I have power to do it. Where you typically look at people where their strength at? In their hands, in their arms. And they look at where people's strength at. Hello? There's certain things we'll credit people for. Isn't that right? When he say they strong, we don't grab their pinky toe. There's certain things we looked at. We looked at that man, his strength of what he was able to do of his own hands. And the free will offering. I don't really, you need to pay attention. This is something you do of yourself. That's why he told them, I do this. He said, nobody don't take it. Nobody do this. He said, I do this myself. This is a free will offering. And you missed that when he was talking. That's what a free will, he said, that's why he didn't let nobody take it. When Cup took out, he was like, they taking him. He said, no. He said, nobody don't take my life.
Yeah.
I lay it down.
That's right.
I had the power to do that. I got the power to resist it. But you would never understand why he had conversation. You was just looking. Free will offering, a meat offering for a ram, and a meat offering for the lamb, and the barak of, and a hen of oil for the meat offering. Come on, get a little more. Let's see what else to say. Listen.
In the yom of the Kodash, it shall be a young bullock without blemish, and 6 lambs and a ram, they shall be without blemish.
Mm-hmm.
And he shall prepare a meat zabak, an ephah for a bullock, and an ephah for a ram, and for the lambs, according to his hand shall attain unto, and an hin of oil to an ephah.
And according to who?
As his hand.
What happened?
Shall attain unto.
That's how he gonna furnish it. That's what we were watching. That's what we're looking at. So it's important to do that. So you've been told to do certain things. Let me ask you this. In the 12th chapter of the book of Romans, he told you, I beseech you, who? Therefore who? You got therefore on your own? No, he said, I beseech you, Akeem, that you present your bodies.
Living sacrifice.
That's going to be something you got to do in your own will. And it's got to be something acceptable. Just like that what he did his own hand. It didn't change the fact, though, it still had to meet requirements and guidelines. But I encourage you to try to do that too. And you make sure you do it and let it be of your own will. And make it something acceptable. And that will be your reasonable service. Well, what happened with us? I'm not getting ready to let y'all go. We just had never looked at things the way we're looking at it now. And I appreciate the fact he's given us the ability to sit back now and go back and look to get an understanding on why certain things were done and certain conversations were uttered from his mouth. Because it all works to be conclusive for us obtaining the Ruach HaKodesh. See, that Ruach that they got, that spirit they got, the wind that they possessed, because wind can move you, turn you too, and was based upon them understanding the science of how this man works. See, the people that ain't gonna get it, they got a problem with all of this. They got a problem with this. And the problem they got with this is the problem they have with themselves. The only thing that'll keep you from getting this is the things you rationalize and you wrestle with in yourself. And it become a block. That's why I'm talking about the weight, laying aside. And there's some weight. Worry about my kid, worry about my wife, worry about my husband, worry about my kid, worry about my job, worry about my health, worry about these things. Some things you got to lay aside. Some things you got to lay aside. And it's a matter, I mean, you really have to get broken down to where nothing is more important than your salvation. And I'll be honest with y'all, that's not where we at yet. Not for everybody. As long as you have an out, as long as you have another source, You're never going to be a candidate for being saved. Y'all want the truth, you want to lie. You ain't going to be saved. I'd be lying if I told you was. You got an out. You got somewhere you can run. You got something else you can do. I ain't got nowhere else I can go. I ain't got nothing else I can do. I know how to drive trucks. I know how to sell cars. I know how to do a whole lot of stuff. I can do building. I can do renovation. I ain't got nothing else I can do. None of that has nothing to do with my salvation. I can't drive nowhere else to do nothing. I can't build nothing else to do nothing. I can't sell nothing else to do nothing other than what I'm doing. I'll be honest with y'all. Y'all ain't going to make it because y'all got an out. Because you still got stuff you justifying and still, and you only doing it because you have an out. You still got stuff you sneaking and you doing. That's your out. You're going to have to get it down to a complete end of, I ain't got nothing else. This the rationale, is what he say or you die. It don't matter who it hurt. It don't matter who it go against. It don't matter about who feelings it is. At the end of the day, if this is all you got, that's what you got to stay restricted to. Y'all understand me? I'm being honest with you. It's no rationalizing it. There's no other way of trying to get around. This is it. Otherwise, you ain't gonna be saved. And I would do you an injustice if I didn't tell you the truth. You're not gonna be saved. The average of y'all not gonna make it. You ain't gonna do it. And it won't be because I just told you that. It's gonna be because of what you ain't gonna do. You love too many other things. You got too many other things going on. You got too many other things that project over the need for you to be saved. You'll deal with that, but you know, he gave you a brain too, so you can think, and you got to make your own way. And like Preacher said, you can't be counting about it. You got to try to take care of yourself, and you using that not as what I told you to try to get you to understand. You using that for your justification of why you ain't doing everything he told you. Who know whether Yahuwah will come back and save him? He's not gonna save him off your compromising. He can't say. Why would he save somebody off me compromising? It's some lines we got to put in the sand with the stuff. It's some lines got to be put in the sand with people. Relatives, kids, grandkids, everybody. Lines got to be put in the sand. Husband, wife, lines got to be put in the sand. That's what he gave them. What do you think the purpose of him setting boundaries for them? The first boundary they learned when he put it in their place and when they came to heart. He learned the boundary. They had to learn boundaries. Where were your liberties at? What didn't pertain to you? And then when he gave them their land, everything was about boundaries. You couldn't go over nobody. That's the boundaries. That's not for you. They had stuff that was named Pacific to them. This is your area. This is your plot. This is your part. This is your inheritance. And we don't mess around, and when our kids walk out or whatever, we can't run out our end for you. That's your bottom line. That's your end. A lot of stuff haven't been done. Y'all ain't gonna be able to do it no more. I'm gonna kick you out. Everybody. We gotta, cause we crossed too many boundaries, and we can't do it no more. Anything gonna happen to draw them, it's gonna be what we tell them and what we hold to. Them, okay, they think they hate us, whatever, you hate me, whatever you wanna do. That's fine at the end of the day. I'd rather you hate me now for that man to hate me. What's the solace of if I meet my kid in Sheol? That way they can know I really care. And they'll know I ain't gave up on them. Both of them down there cooked up. I just want you to know I ain't never give up on you. That's why I'm down here burning with you. That is the dumbest, the stupidest statement. That is the dumbest reason to anything. I can't. We got a line. We can't do it. Be like Balaam. Listen, you give me a house full of silver gold. I can't go beyond that man's word to do less or do more. That's how we're going to draw them. Anybody going to get it? Listen, it ain't working for nobody out there. Don't let nobody fool you. It's not working for them. It ain't the money. I don't care all they about it. It ain't working. You know what's right. You know what's right. Y'all know that. How many of y'all you still know what's right? So you think these folks stupid? Folks ain't stupid. They know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you just stupid. They look happy to me because you're a retard. Folks, now, you ain't got no peace. Yahuwah done told her, ain't no peace said to the wicked. You done heard the word. How you got peace? Let me get this up. Our Sue's out there just partying and kicking it. I'm going to hell anyway. You know what I'm saying? I ain't going to be saved. You know what I'm saying? Might well, hey, like they said, get it in. Get in where you fit. What that man was doing the whole time? I don't see why he wasn't good with that. At that point, I'm going to hell. I ain't going to be saved. Who going to blame me? That man was sitting around there still crying, still trying to get it. Don't let nobody fool you. Your hood going to trigger. He get it every time. Your day is short. Your day is numb. You going to cut your time. But what hurt us? We keep making these compromise statements. We can't make no compromise. This the man way right here. This the man way. That's it. You got to do just like the rich, just like Lazarus when he died. It got to be a gulf between us. I can't cross over. I ain't going to cross that man for you now. And then no matter what he give, I ain't going to cross it. You saw how you called, Yahusha, how he gave up everything he had, because our Sue couldn't be saved. He said, I ain't comfortable going out there. I just got to go to hell. That's my son. I love that boy cook for me. Ain't nobody cook like that boy cook. You know, listen, I'll go to hell to get some of his barbecue. Ain't that what he said? He told you talking about he the only one cook it exactly how it's supposed to be. Man, you got to go to hell to eat that one. You know, go to hell and eat that one. Ain't that right? That man, that's on him. I'm not jumping out there with him, man. People make choices. He ain't arguing with Yahuwah either. Why thou forsaking me? That's wrong. My boy got tricked. Your boy made the same decision everybody else got an opportunity to do. You make the right one. You make the wrong, it could be your last one. Especially when you know you don't heard the word. It's for everybody. That's why these young kids got to know that too. Y'all day number. Y'all ain't going to get them kid passes. Y'all day number. The time's short. We ain't got to, y'all get, you as a kid, you going to keep saying it. I don't know where y'all get that from. Yahusha came along, that man, listen, that book said he was still subject to his parents. Right. We got a teacher. We ain't got no choice. We can't, we the father why these kids ain't getting no better. When you're a kid, that man, listen, we got to make him a quick understanding. We got to make him a quick understanding. Let me tell you something. A lot of these kids going to wind up perishing. Y'all look at me, kid, and this is one of him. Y'all going to wind up perishing because these parents will compromise to keep you in friendships with y'all. They are worried about y'all liking them more than they worry about y'all soul salvation. Don't you be stupid. I'm telling you the truth. Go ahead and hate me, but if you get this thing later and you get saved, I'm going to slap the piss out you because that's for hate me. I'm going to forgive you, then we're going to move on and go on in. I said, come on. I'm going to lick that thing like Prince and slap your face. That thing spit going to slap. At the end of the day, I want y'all to say, I want to tell you, time's short now. Y'all remember we were coming on you had a whole separate church for kids. You don't talk to kids about no dying and going no hell. Because we looked at, why you about them? You not in it. Don't let these people fool you. We have no writings for that. That he just saved kids. What at right now? Kids get in for free. You do that junk at Ryan's. Where did we get that from? We just felt, these kids, how you going to judge them? The man judged our suit before he even got here. Quit fooling ourselves with telling these kids that you got something past. Where do we get that from? I was told he don't judge kids till you get 12, and then 14. That's a lot going on, man. There's a lot going on. I don't know why Yahusha didn't get right that he got 14. That man was already in the mosque in that teaching. So that's why I can't believe why he gonna tell Timothy that from a child he knew the Kodash scripture. Why was he telling him that? Why you even bothering with him? At least wait to get 14, 20. At 20, you start to give a sacrifice for yourself. Every man had to pay a ransom for his soul at 20. So tell your kid he can live like the Satan. He can live like a Satanite until he get 19. Don't nobody make no fool. He told to train them up in the way they go. So they get old, they won't depart from it. That's all we can do is tell you, listen, after that, these are your own choices. Everyone, y'all tell your kids, listen, eventually, you got to relinquish in. Look at it, they got their own mind. Right now, I'm going to keep you in the way. Ain't that right? I'm going to be Balaam, and you're going to be the ass. I'm going to beat it, too. I'm going to get you right back in the way. I'm trying to tell you that's all I can do. Because, listen, y'all want to be friends so much with them. Y'all worry about these people. These people waiting to get our kids and kill them. They want to give them experimental movement to homosexuality, and y'all be comfortable with it. Y'all let everything go on. You keep trying to ration and reason with a child. I'm from old school. I can't understand no ration and reason with no child. Y'all got all this stuff. Kid can't get whooped. They get certain. Let me tell you something, whoop. Do something I tell you don't do. Why would I tell a 3-month-old child to do something? Why would I tell a 6-month-old child not to do something? I'm going to tell a child something not to do something that know not to do it. So if I'm telling you something I feel like you know not to do it, I'm going to whoop your little behind. Because I'm going to start trying to persuade you away from doing it. Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy. Even for him, y'all let him cry all day and all night. It don't make no sense. I didn't give you something to cry for. Come on here. I know what you need. Take that belt out, give you a little tap. You'll be all right. Then go get a swim. I ain't got time to be tearing no bushes up, screaming my hand, have no green stuff in my hand for swimming away. I got that belt right here. I'm waiting to give you a little tag on it. Come here. Get that little ya. Got to get you on up out the way. Got to train you up in the way you should go so you're old, you won't depart from it. Y'all wait too long. Yeah, I'm probably start women that get 39. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'll just probably get a little switch. 39. Leave that kid alone. I still got to start on when they small. You start training, they walking, they talk, they everything. If you can ask me for something, then you know something. Then when I tell you something, I'm going to pop your behind. These kids got most of them they got. Listen, you can't raise these kids like white folk kids. White folk can do that. Them kids, they kill 9 folk, get probation. Scott Peterson killed his wife and prayed on it, and they forget him another trial. Yep. White folk get them kind of out. Hair still look black. Man still look, you know what I'm saying, mask on. They gonna do that for white folk. Your kids ain't white. Your kid get a speed ticket, they got deaf. You gotta train these kids up different. You gotta stay on top of them. You gotta keep them, because we're gonna lose them. They're in the school system, they're in the society. Y'all got them on the website. Y'all got on the phone. Everything they do is gay. Everything they get in the kid is gay. So we gotta break them from it. That's all they gonna get. Everything gonna give them gay homework. Everything they'll give them, everything is to soften them up. They try to make masculinity look like it's wrong. Right. These kids soft and soft. You can't. These kids they don't show no ends of trying to be no men. In society, these kids ain't worried about that booty out tight. They ain't trying to run. They ain't trying to play in that. I can wait to see a football game. Everybody booty out running. Pay it, bomb. That's how Rick cat. They go, whoo. Man, stop it. Just stop it. Disgusting. So we got to set a protocol for them. We got to teach them. They might think you mean, you rough, but if you keep your kid out of that jail system, keep your kid being homosexual, keep your kid out of them gangs, keep your kid from early pregnancy, keep your kid from being on that dope, you done your job. That's all you can do. You ain't trying to lose them. Let them know, I ain't trying to lose you. Ain't that right? Some of you ain't gonna be able to keep all of them. I got to keep what I can. Y'all got it? Yes, sir. All right, that's two.